All right, hello and welcome to 20-Sided Stories. I'm your DM Nicholas, and thanks for joining us tonight. We're continuing our story of Curse of Strahd, the sort of gothic horror-esque themed D&D adventure. Just do a quick round of reintroductions for everybody who's at the table. We did a bit of a 2-week hiatus. So joining with us remotely is Michael, who's going to be playing Darian. Alrighty, and then we've got at the table, we've got Sarah, who's playing Nora. We've got Kat, who's playing Jennifer. And we've got Brandon, who's playing Cledu. Sitting right here, right next to Sarah, we're missing one player. She's going to be joining us a little bit later. That is Megan, who's going to be playing Mary Lou. I'm going to just switch over to our combat cam, and I'll do a recap here, but just so everyone's clear on who's who, we've got Darian, the model here with the green base. We've got Mary Lou with the orange. We've got Jennifer with the sort of lavender pink. We've got Cledu with a big old scythe and the black and white base. And we've got Nora with a sort of pale green base. Joining them are a couple other characters. As we're just left off at a combat, here is Irina Kolyana, one of the important characters the team recently came across. And here is her brother, Ismark. All right, and without further ado, we'll jump right into a recap from last session. So, when last we left off, a few weeks ago, we were engaged in the story of 5 strange adventurers who have come together seeking fate and answers to their dreams and strange fate cards that were given to them in their sleep. They have collected yet another card, the Horseman card, from a skeletal rider they encountered in this strange land. Already, they have encountered tragedy. All right, hello and welcome to 20-Sided Stories. I'm your DM. That was well planned. In any case, they came across a couple other tragedies already here in this land, in a dark house, and dealt with the problems there, and received a few letters from a mysterious S character, one addressing the players directly, and another leading them to Ismark Kolyanovich. They also entered a village in this land, the Village of Barovia, and saw a mysterious blue-winged raven that led them to a rather unwelcoming inn. There they met Ismark Kolyanovich, the son of the late burgomaster, the mayor of the town, and his sister Irina, and learned of the devil's unsavory interest in her and his attacks on their home. They agreed to help bury their late father at the local church, where we are now, and met the hoarse-voiced priest, Donovich, and hearing some unsettling cries from below in his church. Outside, here in the midst of the graveyard, after the service and burial, the mists of Barovia have rolled in, with 6 wolves slinking in to attack, and a 7th huge black wolf surveying its prey. And with that, we're going to start some combat and get everything rolling there. So, why don't we go ahead and have everybody... Okay. Why don't we have everyone go ahead and roll initiative. Get everything going there. And I'm going to get... Oh, goodness. Sorry. Alrighty.
Darian is very ready. Nat 20.
Alright.
Hey.
Very nice. First roll of the night. Already starting strong. I like it.
Starting well, starting well.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's get that going. Let's see here. I'm going to get the Wolves initiative going. Okay, so let's see here.
Very impressive.
Alright, and I think we've also got... Great. Alrighty. Bear with me as I'm getting all the initiative orders set. So that's that. Okay. Darian, what does your natural 20 bring you to?
I didn't even check because I figured I got it. Let me take a look. 23.
23, okay. Okay. That's going to be... And... Okay. Okay, so 25 to 20, that includes Darian for a 23. 20 to 15, or anyone else on a 20 to 25? I'll roll for Mary Lou. Okay. All right, 20 to 15.
17 for Jennifer.
Jennifer got a 17. Ismark got a 20, so he's kind of ready. Let's see. Jennifer got a 17. Okay. 15 to 10.
10.
11.
Okay, so we got 11, 10. Before that come Irina with a 14, and Mary Lou with a 13. Then we've got 11 for Nora, and Kledu bringing up the rear at a 10. All right, so as you guys have just laid the Burgomaster to rest, and the evening has taken a turn for the worse, or rather the morning has taken a turn for the worse. The party is engaged with these wolves, and you hear the howl of the wolf, the large black wolf in the corner, although it's white as the model, here in the corner, sitting on its haunches, surveying the scene. The rest of them closing in the open spaces of the graveyard. Ismark yells, "Protect Irina! Destroy the wolves!" And with that, Darian, listening heartily, is up first. Darian, you're up first with Ismark on deck, followed by Jennifer.
Okay, perfect. So, quick game comment. Now that we're in open world, how far are distances, just so I know and can make some plans?
Yeah, thank you.
What's like 30 feet? What's 10 feet? Can you give me a rough estimate?
Sure. So 30 feet is 6 inches, so something like that. 10 feet, something like that. So you guys are fair distance away from a few of the wolves, but you can clearly see, for those who can't see, here's some wolves here, one here, and one here, here, with the big one in the back.
Just a few.
Just a few.
So there's 7 total, is that right?
Including the large one in the back, there are 7, yes.
Okay, on the right-hand side of the camera, I can only see 2. Is there actually a third together with that?
So there are, so there's 2 here.
Yeah.
And there's 1 over here. Is that one being missed?
Yeah, I can't see that. That's out of camera. I can see that guy. Yep, great.
Yep, so there's that.
Yep.
And then 1 over here, and 2 here.
Perfect. Okay, great.
That's where we're surrounding. Thank you for the clarification.
Perfect. All right, so Darian is going to move towards the house, towards, I guess, the church.
Yep.
A little bit. And more towards that lone wolf on its own, sort of in that direction. Yep, like that. That'd be great.
Okay.
And he's going to cast Ray of Frost.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh, he rolled pretty well. I've got a 19 plus. That one is. Just checking my set. That's sorcerer. Plus 4.
19 plus 4, that's a 23, which definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage as this beam of frosty light bolts out into this creature right in the face.
He got a 1.
1 point of damage. Maybe not a beam so much as the little of cold.
Snowflake.
Yeah, a little snowflake just kind of hits him, but it does have its magical effect, which is slowing the creature's movement. So the snowflake bristles out and slows the wolf a little bit as the frost clings to its form. Anything else from Darian?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, so now it's Ismark's turn with Jennifer on deck. Ismark is going to, let me pull a couple pages out of my binder here, so I have it all in order. Okay, Ismark is going to whirl about and draw a short sword that he's got at his belt, and he's turning to the nearest wolf and charging without hesitation. He is engaging the enemy. All right, he's going to take a swing with his, he gets 2 swings with his longsword against the wolf. All righty. Both are going to hit with a total of, looks like an 18 and a 21. So 2 nice slashes right across. Dice down. Thank you, Kledu. With 2 thick slashes right into the sort of open area of the wolf. He was perhaps ready for trouble, having been attacked multiple times in a row, him and his family. That is going to be, well, pretty well. Gosh, how do we play this game again? It's been so long.
I'm not sure either.
So that's going to be 12 points of damage total. And with a slash, the wolf buckles before him and whoosh, blade straight into the back of its neck. Down it goes. And crashes down. That's it for his turn, and he's going to simply back up with the rest of his movement and hover over Irina protectively. All right, Jennifer, you're up with Irina on deck.
Okay, so 30 feet, could I get to like right about here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go here, and then would I be within 90 feet of these guys?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to cast sleep.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you're targeting a point somewhere in there in that radius.
Yeah.
Got it.
Never else
Okay.
gates.
Sure. Here, I've got a few extra here. How many do you need?
I need 5.
Yes. Sleep.
Yep.
Okay.
Arithmetic. 10, 13, 15, 17.
17 points of health that you can put to sleep. So, as your magic blooms out, this sort of whispering shadow forms over the wolves, and you're certain that this effect would have affected normal wolves, but these don't feel like normal wolves. Their eyes glow red for a moment, and the spell is resisted.
Okay. Do I have a voice action?
You absolutely do.
Okay, I'm gonna look panicked and just yell, "To the church!"
Okay, nice. Sorry for the no effect on the spell, but these are some special wolves.
Tis what it is.
All right, Irina draws a sort of ornate rapier that she has belted with her, and is going to whirl about. And as she does this, Ismark kind of puts her hand on her and says, "No, to the church, like she said. Let us go." And she sort of shrugs him off, and instead sheaths the rapier and pulls out a crossbow, and is going to fire at the nearest wolf just past here in the distance. So she is going to take a shot. Hey, good roll. 20 total, so that's going to hit. Alrighty, and that's going to be for 8 points of damage on that wolf. So, striking it sort of right in the sort of collarbone area. It's looking hurt, but it's still standing. All right. Thankfully, the team is much readier than these active predators of the night. And that's it for Irina's turn. Mary Lou is on up next, and she is going to wade right into the thick of things and rage, going feral and striking with berserk fury. She's going to go ahead and make her attack. She's also going to enter a frenzied rage, which lets her make an extra attack. So first attack on the one that hit, the one that was hurt already. Ooh, natural 4. Unfortunately, is going to miss, but she gets a second attempt. Go for it. That's going to hit. All right, with a 16 total. That's definitely going to do it. And a D12 with her huge Hulking Great. Rolled a 12. All right, so that's going to be something on the order of 16 points of damage, I think. So that is well enough to put down the already wounded wolf. With a big two-handed overswing, down the wolf goes without even a yelp of protest. What's odd is that the big black wolf in the corner seems to be just surveying the combat. This battle ensuing doesn't seem to be stirring it into engaging so far.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How high are the gates?
The fence line is about, I'd say maybe 5 feet-ish. It's more of a decorative or traditional wall line around a graveyard, rather than something that's tall and heavy.
So is it like wrought iron, or is it like a stone fence?
These are stone.
Okay.
This is stone fencing.
Gotcha.
All right. But there are the gaps as detailed
Yeah.
by the spaces there. So
Okay.
if there's spaces there, those are open spaces.
And we can see this.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
That wolf is about the size of a horse, so very tall, and definitely striking a menace that the others maybe aren't. Okay, with that, Mary Lou is done with her turn. Nora, you are up with Cledu on deck. We all beat the wolves. Yes, the wolves would have rolled a 5.
Nora's gonna come up a little bit closer so she's within 30 feet.
Okay.
And try something new and try to cast Turn the Faithless.
Okay, and that is how does that work?
They must make a wisdom saving throw, or they have to turn and move as far away from me as possible for like a minute.
Okay, what kind of creatures can you target with that ability?
Fae and fiends.
It is not a fae or a fiend.
That's not a fiend?
Not a fae or a fiend.
Oh,
You draw your
dang.
holy symbol, the bright sun,
Dang.
on your cloth, and you present it, but it seems completely unfazed, even as a little bit of flickering sunrise colors of nature emit from the design. But no additional effect, unfortunately.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure, go ahead.
Is the priest still out here with us?
No, Donovich left after the procession, but before the wolves came in. So he returned quite sorrowfully to tend to his hoarse-voiced praying, and that was when the wolves rolled in, just after he departed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Cledu, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I'm way over there. How far can I get towards like Jennifer and Darian?
How far can you get towards Jennifer and Darian? Just with a normal move? You're 25 or 30?
30.
Okay. So
What's
you
that
can
from
probably
the
get there.
Okay. Can I
Maybe a
move
little
more in front of, I guess, Jennifer?
More this way?
Nicholas, I think you probably moved me a little more, just as a reminder. The foot.
Oh yes, yeah, you were reduced. For those who don't know,
yeah.
poor Darian, in a previous turn of the adventure, lost a foot in a grievous wound, so he's actually probably limped back a little bit, and that's his story. So we'll get to that in a little bit. All right.
Okay, then can I move in front of like where Jennifer is, or close, like within 5 feet of both of them?
This? Why don't you move where you'd like to be? That way I'm guessing. No, my pretty gravestones.
It's back. It's fine.
All right.
I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon.
Okay, spiritual
We're
weapon.
gonna put
Ooh, new
that.
3rd level spell or 2nd level spell.
Indeed. We're gonna put that.
Place it.
Because it can't move very fast, so we're gonna move that like right here.
Okay, conjuring the weapon. What does it look like?
Ooh. It would probably look just like the scythe.
All right, so a big sort of bone-hafted scythe with a sort of symbol of 2 scales balanced on it, worked into the head of the design, floats sort of in a spectral, ghostly way of black and white shadows.
Okay, so that was my bonus action, and as part of summoning it, I can attack with it.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I will do so.
Okay, go for it. Make an attack roll.
That is going to be it's wisdom, so that's a 15 to hit.
15 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, that's a d8.
Yeah.
And I have my spellcasting modifier, so that'll be 7 damage.
7 points of damage, and that is...
The great one there.
Alrighty.
And I will hold my actual action to attack anything if it gets in range.
Got it. Okay, so brandishing your own scythe and having it at the ready, mirrored to the one that you just used to slash into this creature. It is hurt, but still standing. All right, now it's the wolf's turn. This wolf, obviously, is going to just simply engage with Mary Lou. These ones are going to go ahead and move forward. Go ahead and make your attack of opportunity, or rather your reaction attack,
Okay.
against the one that moved in closest was this one, but...
Is the spell not an action?
It's a
No,
bonus
it's a
action.
bonus action. It's a really strong spell.
Wow,
So,
that's really cool.
great effect there. So
It's natural, but not 20.
it's natural. Unfortunately, as you swing, you sort of get a little carried away and sort of swing wide, and have to be careful not to hit Jennifer, who ducks from your big swiping swing
Watch it.
scythe. This one, slowed by the frost of Darian's magic, just sort of crawls forward, but doesn't quite get into combat range. All right, to battle then. The wolf who's attacking Mary Lou. That's a cockeyed roll. Let's roll that again. That's going to be a total of... it's going to be a total of 15, which I believe hits. I don't have all of Mary Lou's stats nice and active. Silly me, but...
Silly you.
Silly me. I've only got a few things to manage. So, but...
Nicholas.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Woo! That is going to be 10 points of piercing damage as it bites into her. However, in her enraged state and toughened muscles, she flexes her burn-scarred arms and has taken worse, so only takes 5 points of damage. So we'll just mark that here. Alrighty. And she has to take a strength saving throw, which she has advantage while she's raging, against the creature pouncing on her. Oh yeah, she's fine. She's seen worse in her tavern brawly kind of days. Okay, as for the other wolves, they are attacking with pack tactics, kind of darting in and out, kind of going for the hamstrings, and then towards your throat against Cledus. They're attacking with advantage. So the first one with advantage is going to be a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right, you sort of take it on, it sort of clangs into the armor that you're wearing, but they don't find purchase against the steel. The second one, natural 19, so that's going to hit you. And that is going to be, go ahead and make a strength saving throw too for me. All right, this is only 5 points of piercing damage.
That is a 22.
All right, 5 points of piercing damage and a 22. As the creature like bites onto you, kind of like an army dog taking down a creature, you sort of shove it off with a big sweep of your hand, and it sort of bangs against the ground for a second. All right, but it is all right. So, damage taken, but otherwise that is their turn. So, Darian, you're up. Ismark is on deck, followed by Jennifer.
All right, great. He's going to move forward towards the wolf that is
Okay.
obviously closest to him. Probably the only one he can reach.
Yep.
And he's going to make his two sword attacks against that.
Okay, the intimidating image ruined a little bit by his drag thump of his wounded leg, but he pulls the swords out, does a flourish, and gives him a go. Go ahead and roll.
I got a 15 and a 10.
The 15 hits, the 10 does not.
Okay. 6 points of damage.
All right, much more effective than the snowflake as in the damage department. You carve into the wolf and feels a little thicker than a normal wolf you who have hunted in the wilds before would know, but this wolf feels a little bit different. So worthy of note. At this point, the frost has thawed a little bit, so it's acting normally. All right, anything else from Darian?
Nope, he's good.
Okay, Ismark's gonna go next, and then Jennifer's on deck. All right. Ismark is going to just stand in front of Irina and guard her. They're going to together kind of take an action and move a little bit closer, and simply ready themselves as he is sort of dragging her, and she's sort of, no, stop, let me help them, as he pulls her towards the church and the relative safety of the building. His eyes are fixed on the larger wolf in the darkness there in the copse of trees and mist back over here. However, he's readying his action. His sword is at the ready to fight off whoever comes near. Okay, Jennifer, you're up.
Jennifer, ever the hero, is going to back up. Can I get about there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
All right, backing up and making a sort of defensive gesture over yourself in a sweep. A sort of lavender-colored robe appears over your whole body, tinged with a little bit more shadow and darkness than you were expecting it to do, but it seems to clothe you in a protective guise. All right, that's it for your turn. Next up is going to be Irina, and she says, "Ugh, get off, Ismark!" And she kind of takes aim and fires into the wolf that is engaged with Darian here. That's gonna hit. That is a natural 15. She's doing pretty well with her crossbow. All right, she's got another 6 points of damage. Is gonna put that wolf down. So distracted by Darian's attacks, this bolt comes in from the side and brings it down. Alrighty, that's it for them. They're done with their turns. So Mary Lou is up next. Continuing with her ferocious rage, she's going to go ahead and make 2 attacks against this creature, just with the big strikes of the great axe. A natural 1 and a natural 6, unfortunately, are not going to score telling blows against this creature, even as her big wide swings a little bit more reckless, and the wolf dances out before leaping back in. So no success there, unfortunately. All right, now from Mary Lou comes Nora with Cladou on deck.
I'm going to go ahead and use both hands to try and hit this.
Okay, you're going to have to move a little closer.
Yeah.
At the moment, we'll move you around here. But 2 hands with your long sword, go ahead and go for it.
That is a 20.
20 hits, go ahead and roll damage. D10 for the 2-handed.
Oh, 0 is a 10.
Yeah.
13.
13 is enough with one big wallop. Whoosh, cleaving the wolf. As you carve right across its malevolent gaze. All of these wolves' eyes are a little bit more flickery and red than a normal wolf's would be. All right, and then you ready your shield for whatever else might come. All right, at this point, Cladou, you're up.
Okay. We'll have him swing his scythe at the green-looking wolf that shouldn't have been damaged yet.
Okay, yep, go for it. Yeah, the suspiciously green wolf.
It's really muscular.
So that
Using what we got here for the models.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not. The armor class is a 13. Sorry, buddy.
Darn it.
So it sort of
Roll six,
moves out of your sweeping scythe.
Okay, then I'll use my bonus action to move the spiritual weapon 20 feet this way.
Yep, that's enough. 20.
Put it back yard. and take a swing with that.
Go for it.
Hopefully this one has. This will be on the damaged one.
Got it.
Nope. That's a natural 3.
All right. Ducking and weaving over these blades, these wolves are sort of like navigating a challenge course here, and are able to evade harm in this particular case. All right. Now it's the wolves' turn. There's only a couple wolves left now. Thinned out the pack there, but they're going to attack with advantage again on Claddu. Alrighty, that's going to be a 17 to hit for the first one, and the other one is going to be a 13.
Does not.
Okay, so like before, only one gets through. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw for me, please.
That one is only going to be a 9.
A 9. All right, this one pounces on you and bites deep into you, knocking you prone,
That's not good.
and you take 7 points of piercing damage.
That's also not good.
Alrighty. At this point, you see the black wolf in the back there kind of raise its head, sniff deeply, and then just walk back into the darkness.
No.
And disappear.
No.
Alrighty. And with that, Darian, you're up. Ismark is on deck.
All right, I can reach the other wolves from there, right?
You'd have to
20
move, but yes, you
20
can
20
get to
feet,
them.
I can make it there?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Is that one wounded, or is the other one wounded?
That one is the wounded one.
Can you get me to the unwounded one, or do I not have enough?
Yeah, you
I
can.
make it. Yeah, take me to the other one. that'd be
Moving in
good.
the other direction, going round and stepping over Darian's prone form as this thing sort of savages him. Go ahead.
Yeah, Claddu.
Claddu.
17 on the one.
That hits.
And 8 on the other.
8 misses. Go ahead and roll damage for the 17.
6. Another 6.
6 points of damage. This was the unwounded one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, whoosh, kind of carving into its backside, but not enough to fell it in a single blow, unfortunately.
And then Claddu is down, but he's not knocked out or anything, right?
No, he appears to be struggling and conscious. He's just been knocked down by the force of the pouncing beast.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
So
Ismark.
as a verbal action, I'll just ask him how. I'll just say, Claddu, you okay? You need a good berry gnome?
Not yet. Soon.
Nice, I love it.
Probably soon.
Alright, good.
All right, Ismark is going to continue attempting to drag Irina closer to the gatehouse there, kind of with mixed success, as she is clearly wanting to help her new allies, and he is clearly wanting to get her to safety. But that is his turn. That is going to be Jennifer up next.
Okay, so I am going to. Oh gosh. Am I a coward? Yeah, I think she would try to go towards the church.
Okay.
And then just voice action, but like, run!
All right, this half-masked individual just sort of backing up with her robe and protection and just staring at awe on her friends who seem to be battling it out and just incredulously not fleeing from this combat. All right, next up is going to be Irina, who says, "No, we must fight them!" and takes another shot with her crossbow.
2 different types of people in the world.
Yep. That's a 17 to hit. It's going to be at the unwounded. Well, actually, both are wounded now. So it'll be the one on the right there. And that's going to... Woof! Man, she's on fire with this crossbow. That's going to be another 9 points of damage, which is enough to put that one down as well. Alrighty. She's taking care of herself. She doesn't need... She doesn't need the team.
Don't need the team.
Yeah, so she's doing pretty well. All right, Mary Lou is up next. She says, "I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to be done with these wolves." Alabama. Yeah, and Mary Lou has an accent for those of you at home. So she stows her... She's not quite enough movement to get to her foe here. But she stows her great axe and pulls out a bloodied hatchet, sort of with rusted blood on its side, and she throws it at the wolf there. She's going to do that. That is going to be a hit with a total of a 12. No, 12 misses. Armor class of 13. So unfortunately, sort of hurls into the darkness, and she seems to sort of, kind of, her rage seems to fall from her, and she seems a little bit more exhausted and tired than before. So it's that. Okay, unfortunate for her, but Nora, you're up next.
And I can't get within melee, can I?
Not without sprinting there. It's a little bit farther, so.
Then I'm gonna to run up just a little bit and throw one of my javelins.
Okay, go for it.
You think that's okay?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, pulling out a javelin. Go ahead and give it a shot.
12.
12 does not hit. The 13 is keeping these wolves, this last wolf safe, and it stays standing. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. Oh, and we had this one go down as well. Okay, so that's that. So Cladu, you're prone, and there's a wolf next to you, but the pack seems to be thinning out. What are you doing?
Okay, so it's not on me, it's just pushed me down.
It's pushed you down, and then you've sort of wrestled it off.
Okay, I will stand up,
Okay, half your movement,
and then I will go to town on this wolf.
and I knock everything down. Go for it. Make your attack roll.
Okay,
Big sweeping scythe attack.
maybe I can hit this time.
You got it.
Yes I can with a nat 20.
Natural 20. Very nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
This
D10,
wolf is in trouble.
and you double it.
Yeah.
Double the dice.
That is going to be a total of 20 damage.
20 damage! That is plenty with a big sweeping swipe. You just cut the wolf straight in half. 2 pieces of halved wolf go spiraling into the darkness. And that is going to bring us to the conclusion of our combat. Alrighty, so what's everyone doing?
Laura's gonna go grab her javelin.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check to see if you can pick it up.
Cladu will heal himself.
Okay, go for it. Mary Lou is going to retrieve her axe.
17.
17, yep, you get it, no problem.
Yay.
Seems dirty, but undamaged. Alrighty. At this point, Ismark is sort of dragging Irina. He's like, "Come on, Irina, they're done. Let us all get out of here before the devil returns with more." And she's like, "All right, come on, let us go. But we cannot leave everyone behind. Come, everybody, back into the church." And quickly, she's kind of gesturing for everybody to return to the safety of the church space as before.
Yeah,
And the
you
direction
psychopaths.
the big wolf came from, there's just more forest in that direction?
That's
More
correct,
field?
yes. On the outskirts of this sort of table are forest and the thick fog and mist that you have come, unfortunately, accustomed to here in Barovia.
As I'm walking towards the church, can I check out the eye of that?
Darian's gonna...
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check. What's Darian doing?
Sorry, there's a little lag. Darian's gonna look at the dog that's closest to him, one of the wolves that's closest to him, just to see if he can identify what's different about it.
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check.
12.
12. The wolf's eyes seem normal.
Okay.
Darian?
Also 12.
Also 12. Hard to tell. It was maybe something about their demeanor, but nothing physical that you can diagnose or identify.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
He'll slowly make his way back to the church then.
okay. Alrighty. So the team makes their way back to the church. We're going to just go ahead and spread the team out here like that. I'll collect our fallen here. You guys did well. It helped that everyone was aces on their initiative, so
Oh
good
my
job
gosh,
there.
I did not think that it was going to go that well.
Yeah, nice job, team.
I didn't think a 10 would beat the wolves.
Alrighty, so in that case, you guys return back into it, and Ismark has sort of got his sword still out, and he's sort of rattling his hand against the hand is sort of rattling against the door to the church. He sort of wrenches it open, and is almost practically like pushing Irina inside while covering the exit. He's like, "Inside, let us all go. Inside now." So everyone's entering the church. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and put this on a little bit of a quieter situation here. So with that, the team returns to the church as before. Here in this space, it is a rather sad and sorry arrangement. It is a church that you have seen before in your introduction to Donovich and the unsettling noises from his basement. The church space is a wreck. The entrance that you guys made your way back to opens up to a space kind of adjacent with pews turned over, crushed with claw marks and bite marks all over them. It is a shambles of rubble and desolation. Just past the sort of altar space, which also shows sign of crack and wear, there is a single bell rope that dangles unused recently. And there, sitting or kneeling before it, is, of course, the priest himself, Donovich. And again, you hear his hoarse voice just, please, please, please. And he's over and over praying in a pained way. And a little bit later, you hear sort of a, Father, I'm hungry! Coming from beneath the floorboards of the church. And Donovich sort of winces at the sound, but otherwise continues his monotonous prayer. Irina and Ismark. Irina seems more concerned by this circumstance and looks to Donovich and then to Ismark. And Ismark seems more concerned again with Irina and says, come, we must all go. We must return. This is the time to depart. We must head to Valaki or somewhere else. Kretsk, anywhere but here. And Irina says, no, Ismark, I'm not leaving this town, this village. This is where our father raised us. This is where all of the people here need our help. We cannot just abandon them. I do not deny that this is a troubled time, but with our allies' help, perhaps we can set the village straight. And she kind of looks around to you imploringly. But before anything else happens, Ismark kind of stamps his foot in frustration and says, Irina, there isn't a time to help everybody who needs it. Everyone in Barovia needs help. But the best thing to do is to get you to safety. That will help everyone here. And he also is sort of kind of crowding her a little bit. And she's shoving him back. And he says, look, I am not letting you out of my sight. If you can convince your friends to help out, then so be it. But we must make haste. We're leaving within the hour or two, with or without your friends. It is morning time, and even already we are being attacked. How will it be if we can make it how is it that we can make it another night? And he's kind of looking at all of you like, help me convince her.
Irina, what would you have us do if you want to stay?
Look, there is so many who need our help here. The lady crying, Mary with the townhouse. There are those who we passed on the way over. So many who need help. And Periwimple from the merchant store. He has been helping me. Seek him out. At least he will be able to direct you. He's been helping me get some supplies to some of the villagers. But I have been, from the attacks on our home lately, I have been unable to assist him any further. Please, do something. I mean, what's going on with Donovich here? And Donovich doesn't even reply. The priest doesn't even register that his name has been spoken. He's continuing his litany. And Ismark is saying, sort of looks over to Donovich and says, thank you for laying our father to rest. Please, can you help convince Irina that somewhere else is safer? And for a moment, Ismark lays his hand on the priest's shoulder and he kind of shrugs it off. And then he kind of breaks his chanting prayer and just says, The Abbey in Kretsk, holy ground. Perhaps the best for her. But, my son, please, Father, please, great Lord of the morning and sunlight, please, restore him, give him deliverance from this terrible fate. And he returns to the litany that he has been chanting all the while. And with this, what is everyone doing? Everyone's sort of looking around, clearly some multiple agencies and interests at play here. So what's everyone doing?
Is there a door that heads downward?
Yeah, so just to set the scene a little clearer for the space, there is the side entrance from which you guys have made it, or the back entrance from which you guys have made it, through to this space. The church building's a little bit larger than the model that I have representing on the field. But there's this sort of broad, wider hall space where these wrecked pews are, and everyone's standing, and Donovich is praying. But from whence you entered the first time to seek the priest's aid in burial, there was a sort of long hallway with 4 doors, all shut. that led to it. There are no obvious spaces leading to below, but that is the outline of the building. So you are seeing it now. It's all rather dimly unlit. So that is the situation here.
So Darian's gonna go and investigate and try and find a pathway down to the basement.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. You're probably going to have to rifle through a little while.
8.
8. Okay. You're shuffling through different debris and kind of pushing across, moving the pews and so forth all around and navigating the space. And you kind of push one of the doors open, and it appears to be a wrecked bedroom with a little bit of a bookshelf space, a couple books on it, but otherwise nothing major. No obvious staircase down in this room or in the main entrance that you were able to detect, but you're not super confident. What's everyone else doing?
I'm going to turn to Ismark and what is this holy place?
I am less familiar with all of the holy places. I am not sure that the great gods have much faith in us left for our sins, but it is said that the Abbey of, I believe it is, the Abbey of St. Markovia resides in the village of Kretsk, and it is rumored that it is not as bad there. I'm not sure. Kretsk is far, if you look on the map that I forwarded you, but it is a far distance from where we stand now, many days' travel. But Vallaki is on the way, and perhaps we can seek aid there, at least refreshment, and then journey all the way to Kretsk. And at this, Irina says, "No, I am not going too far where I cannot help. At least I am not going until further things have been addressed here in town."
But Irina, you staying is the reason why everyone's in danger.
I cannot be sure of that. None of us can be sure of that. But this isn't just danger that needs to be sorted. There are people who are low on supplies, people who are needing food and warmth. These are our responsibilities now that our father has passed. We have inherited his responsibilities, and someone needs to take charge. We argue and squabble and do not help one another, and the swindlers and spies among this place thrive while the rest of us suffer. This cannot be resolved simply by me leaving.
Could you give us a moment to discuss amongst ourselves privately?
Very well, but please make haste. You have seen how things turn so quickly here.
Understood.
Are many of your wolves that size? Like that big one we saw in the corner?
Ismark kind of replies to this and says, "Unfortunately, I have seen many of this size. Not as frequently as these more usual-sized pests, but yes, the great wolves of the forests do roam and attack in packs as well. I best hope that this is one of the reasons that I hoped to procure your services in escorting my sister to safety."
Okay.
So Jennifer's gonna go and gesture for everyone to join her and go towards maybe a couple of pews kind of far away from. I assume they're up towards the altar.
Yeah.
So she's gonna head towards the entrance of the church.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? This is not what we came here for.
I don't know if we can really make progress just by staying in a city waiting for people to come to us.
How will this help us find Madame Eva?
Mary Lou speaks up and says, I don't know about y'all, but I'm thinking that we better at least help some people while we can, but maybe we can at least see this Periwimple bloke and go from there. But I also think we should be heading out pretty soon before things turn sideways again.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should help people, but I don't think we should stay here forever.
So should we have Irina and Ismark go on ahead of us while we help people here, or help people here first and then we all go on together?
While this is going on, you can see that there's a continued argument between Irina and Ismark. And Ismark is sort of continuing his verbiage and directive in getting Irina to safety. But Irina sort of is seeming to, and you're kind of catching the odd word now that you're a little bit farther away, but it's getting heated. And she says, "Brother, we must rise to the occasion. One of us must remain and take the title from Father and rally these people. We can at least if I am to go, then you must stay. These folk have proven their worth in battle and proven that they can distract them while I take care of the bad guys with my crossbow. And so there is certainly a way that we can make it to safety. And I will not go anywhere unless one of us stays and inherits Father's responsibilities. It is time for you to set aside your fanciful story of heroically slaying the devil yourself. We need allies. We need to bring our village back together. We need to bring Barovia back together, and we will be able to defeat the devil together." So this is what you're hearing, and he kind of is stunned by the outburst at this point. But that's kind of what's going on there. Back to you, team.
And just amongst the team, have we asked about Madame Eva? Because if we go back going back to with Stanimir, he mentioned that he was banished from these lands, I think by Madame Eva or by parts of their team. So she must be popular. We may be able to get some information about where she might be before making a decision.
That's true. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
The other thought is that if Irina can rally the villagers, they might all be willing to come with us as a troop. And our objective could change, provided that it helps us find Madame Eva, but we might be able to escort maybe 15 or 20 villagers as a defense team, which could be both lucrative and help put us in the good graces of these people, which might help Madame Eva look upon us favorably when we do meet her.
So as Darian's speaking, Jennifer is just rubbing her temples. And then it's like something he said. She's just like, "Okay, perfect. We'll help him then. Sound good?"
Works for me. How do you want to help?
Okay, so Jennifer will walk back up to Irina and Ismark and be like, "Irina, I recognize that we're not getting anywhere by arguing. What would you have us do right this moment?"
The first step is probably reaching out to Periwimple. He assists at Bildrath's Mercantile. He is a kind-hearted, somewhat simple giant, but he will help and has been helping me. Beware of his uncle who runs the store. He is a swindler of the worst sort and keeps many prices and treasures unfairly. However, including my brother's sword. And Ismark's like, "Irina, you didn't have to tell them that." And Irina says, "Speak to him. He might be able to at least give you some supplies to deliver to a few of the most who need it. So that might be the first place to start. Although I think our friend here," and she kind of gestures towards Donovich, "might need a little assistance as well. His son seems quite troubled down below." From almost on cue, you can hear, you hear again, "I can smell you!"
So if I understand you correctly, once we help out some people in this area that are in need, you'll be willing to agree to your brother's wishes and go on to a safer place, at least for the time being.
Yes, at least for the time being. Provided that he also remains.
I'm gonna look at Ismark.
Irina, what's the likelihood of getting all the villagers to come with us?
And at this,
You think they'd
Ismark
be willing to?
Ismark kind of steps in and says, "These people are not soldiers, at least not yet." And he kind of looks and sighs at Irina and says, "Fine, I will stay and I will work on improving things here and perhaps training some who are able. But we are not a fighting force. Many of our people have died, many of our people have fled, and there are few who trap and range as scouts and hunters, but not enough for a fighting force that would be significant. I know that recently the 10 pilgrims left also to head towards Kretsk. Perhaps if we could reach out to them or connect with them, they might be better served as more vigilant assistants. Oh, we're losing.
How many people do you
Sarah's
think
camera.
remain?
Sarah's getting a call. So sorry for the big S there. But what was that there?
You've got a big version of my face.
Yeah.
How many people are left in the town, approximately?
I am not certain. We have not been leaving the house recently after all of these attacks the past few nights, but it is safe to say that there are fewer than were before 3 nights ago. People continuously go. 1 second here. It looks like... Oh, we'll fix it on break. We got a big Michael face for the moment. And things have switched around. So there it is. But with that... yeah, it seems like you're getting a clear... Oh, oops. You're getting a clear picture of... they're not totally certain, but a few hundred were here in better times. It is not clear to say. After the revolt, things went a little less. So
does he think there's like 50 people here, or like 100, or like a dozen?
more than a dozen and more than 50, but
okay,
perhaps 100 or so at best.
so more than we could realistically protect. Trying to
Yes,
make
that
trip
is
down.
certain.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think
Okay.
you'll be
And
safe here?
maybe
for
we
a
go
minute?
visit the shopkeeper.
Ismark responds to Jennifer asking about being safe, and he says, I am thinking that my safety is not as much of a concern, and resources will be spent attacking my sister. That is why I want you to uphold your oath to protect her and keep her safe. But I will do my best with what I have here, and I can make a few more preparations and gather those who are willing to stand in defense.
Okay. Well, where do we start?
I suppose we could go
Well-
to the shop.
Do we want to try and investigate and find the priest's son and see if we can offer some aid, or do we want to go and visit the town and try and find some supplies and get stocked up?
Well, we're here now. Might as well see what can be learned from our current situation. I'm also
So
not
Dan-
eager to go back outside immediately because I'm not sure if you guys saw, but there was giant wolves that attacked. And instead of running, we engaged. Do you remember?
Are you afraid of wolves, Jennifer?
Are you not?
I'm used to the wilderness. Wolves are everyday companions for me, even though these ones looked and felt a little bit off.
You must have a couple screws loose then.
He sort of looks at you and shakes his head and goes,
I return the shake. Maybe we can see if we can talk to Donovich at all and see if he can tell us anything. I know he's in a bit of a state. I'll do that if you guys want to start poking around and looking in the rooms.
yeah, Darian will keep looking for a door that heads down or some way of getting down.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, because presumably the rest of the team's probably helping you, unless Clitty, I haven't heard from you or Nora very much. What are you guys up to?
I would help Jennifer
I'm
with
gonna be helping.
Donovich.
Look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. You're going to help with Donovich?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're going to help look?
I'm gonna help look with Darian.
Okay, so Darian, yeah, you are rolling with advantage, and then
I
you
got an
two...
18.
Okay, I'll get you in a second. You two go up to Donovich, and again, he's sort of just hoarsely praying and uttering a few different words of request to his deity. What are you guys doing?
So, Donovich, why do you have your son locked up, and why does he sound so hungry?
Dor, my son, he went. he joined the mages' rebellion. They stormed the castle. And none of them returned. The mage fought the devil. Many saw. And many saw that mage be cast down after magic was cast, lightning raged, and thunder cracked. But he was cast down and never seen again. I thought Doro dead. But one day he returned to me. Emaciated, clawed and fanged. Hungering like they do. And now I pray that he can be saved. Can be cured. He hungers not for a meal like you and I, but for blood. Blood of the sentient. Please, help him if you can. You know some magic. Help him if you can. My son.
So, I don't know too much about the Dawnfather, but I would assume that if he is to work a miracle, it should be in the sun, rather than locked below ground in a crypt?
There is no sun in Barovia. The Morning Light Dawnfather has abandoned us. Some say, and I cannot give up hope, for he is Doro's only hope. And I keep him locked below, not for any reason other than the safety. For Doro wants to return to the castle from whence she came, Ravenloft. And he hungers. For the safety of others, I must keep him safe. Keep him where he is, locked below. Beware if you go below. Please help him.
Father, did you ever feed him?
No, I dare not do that. I do not want him to give in to his unholy impulses, to worsen his state.
And, Father, forgive me for being so blunt, but if there's no way to help his physical form, maybe you can help his spiritual form and we can... and Jennifer will just look at Cladu. You're better at this.
So, what she's trying to say is if we can't stop him from turning into some sort of monster, maybe it's best we send him on his way, but while he's still human?
Yeah. No! There must be a way. There is a way! Please, help me. I can keep him restrained. I can keep him here. Speak to him if you must learn more about his condition. But please do not. Please, I cannot let you do anything. I will die before I let you kill him.
Okay.
So, do you have an idea? Because clearly...
Perhaps the abbot of Markovia, of the abbey in Markovia. The abbot is said to be a holy one who can work miracles. Seek him out. I dare not go alone, but if you are traveling there with Irina already, then perhaps you might be able to retrieve something that could help him.
We'll try.
So,
Father.
before we go, just so we have a better idea of what's going on with him, is there any way we could take a look at him? Like, from a distance, but just see him?
Yes, he's down below. Down below in the farthest door, on the right, as you enter. And those of you who were searching have pushed through the different doors and have found there is indeed a trap door in the floor in one of the rooms. All of the rooms are likewise messy, cobweb and dust kept, but they seem to be equal, but for the one that had the books, and this one that has the trap door. And now that you're in that room, you can hear the occasional cry and just say, please, just a tiny bit, please.
Shall we go? Look. Maybe some of the books. We can thumb through some of the books and see it. Didn't Nicholas say there was a room with books?
Yeah. Cladu might not know of it just yet, but when Darian and Nora were investigating, they found a room that had books in near an end table near the bed. So that would be the source of those books that were being referenced there.
And Donovich, before we head down, just as a by-the-by, there's some wolf corpses out in your cemetery. Just so it's not a surprise when you head out there.
Corpses.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
And
I thought I said something.
he just
wrong.
seems like the word kind of echoes in his head and in his words, but he doesn't even seem to register much else. Like clearly, this guy is not in a right way after what's happened to his son.
And you said his son's name is Daru?
Doru.
Doru. Okay. Thank you.
All right, Nora. As you are padding through and exploring the various spaces of the church and the areas held within, there's a section that you sort of clear away some of the debris, just looking for a trapdoor in one of the rooms. And you see that it's open to the outside a little bit. And there's a small section of grasses and a little bit of flowers that are sort of a dark violet color that are blooming amidst the vines that are kind of creeping into this space as nature starts to collect on the house. And in some ways, it reminds you of some happier times, of sunlight and warmth and laughter, roaming lands with a trusted companion and teacher. You think of meadows and sunshine, seeing this little nature scene, and it strikes you starkly. And as you're kind of looking at it for a moment, Darian's off limping around and searching. You hear a voice that echoes in the vaults of your mind. Renew your own light to be a light to others. Let your anger abate and cleanse this land of the twisted, the crone, and the fallen lord. Swear to uphold hope and bestow it to others. Swear and pledge to restore balance where the stained have wrought sorrow in holy places. Bring safety and peace back to the quiet forests and fields of this land. Do you so pledge?
Oh, heck yeah.
Darian, as you're
Without a
searching,
doubt, she's just like, I'm in.
Darian, as you're searching, and you're like, oh, I think I found the trap door. You just hear behind you, oh, heck yeah. having not heard
swish and everything, like.
And having heard not any of the other voice or anything like that, you just hear that, and you hear the voice again, and it says, "Your faith grows wider, and stronger, deeper, and darker. Take this to the Lady of the Fates. Redeem yourself and banish the twisted." And the vines kind of recede and bloom around a particular small object, and you bend down and sort of reach around and kind of root around, and you pull another card out from this. This is the card, and you read it. It is the monk card here. So I'm showing the camera, but and you have also accepted the Oath of the Ancients as part of your oath there. And as quickly as it came, the voice and the scene kind of diminish, and the fog and gloom kind of roll back in over this little tuft of nature. And in some ways, it gives you hope that perhaps not all holy places have been abandoned here, but also you see how much work you have ahead of you and even more mysteries to unravel. With that, I believe we're going to go ahead and head to a little bit of a break, get some food, take a bathroom break and stuff like that as the team moves forward with what they do. Hopefully, fairly soon we should be joined, probably in the next half hour or so, by Mary Lou's actual player, who does a much better Southern accent than I do, which is Megan.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and cut to a break here. So we'll be back in 10 minutes or so. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to head on back. I'm going to swap things around to hopefully get... Not good, actually, for now.
One second.
Do that. Okay, so returning here as we head back from break. Michael's probably just coming in a little bit, and we've got food for our bellies here, even if the poor people of Barovia have less.
Well, I don't have tasty strawberries like these.
tasty berries.
I don't think they're gonna have nachos.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm
No nachos, no berries. But anyway, so having completed Nora's Oath of the Ancients and the team preparing to investigate, is there anything else anyone wants to do before we go forward with that? While we're up above still, presumably Darian and Nora have shared the location of the trapdoor with the leading down below with the remaining members of the team who do not know of it. I'm going to go ahead and clear away this, which I'm sure not during break.
Have we looked at the bookshelves yet?
You have not, but if you would like to, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, take a look, see.
Yeah, go ahead and make. Well, you don't need to roll. There are 2 books there, and I'll get to them in just a hot second.
I only prefer my seconds cold.
Seconds cold only, please. Okay. Just get those out of the way. New set. Boop, boop. Or rather, just not this set.
I was gonna say, wow, this is a pretty big basement.
Yeah, pretty big basement. Yeah, so we'll start using these when we're ready to carry on with the basement section. Just to get a sense of indoors only. We don't use walls here for this, the sake of the camera and all that. These 2 aren't here.
No
But,
walls, no ceilings.
we'll
Okay.
get going. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to head on back. I'm going to swap things around to hopefully get... Okay, so, yeah, we'll build the rest of this here in just a second, but the team's going to be heading down below. But first, before we get to what's below, Cledu, first a message from Cledu, who found a couple books that he wanted to investigate. So going into the room, which seems to have a few extra little markers that indicate that this might have been Donovich's room. The sheets are stained and not well kept at all, and it doesn't look like he's spent much time here recently. But you find the books on the shelf. There are 2, as well as while you're there, the sort of cabinet that you're at here. There's a few other little knickknacks and things now that you're looking around. There appears to be a tinderbox and what appears to be a wooden box with some kind of there's another shut wooden box, as well as 2 well-worn books. The first is Hymns to the Dawn, and the second is The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against Diabolist heresies as fought by the Omist Inquisition.
Could you repeat that book again?
You didn't catch that the first time? Yeah, that is The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against the Diabolist heresies as fought by the Omist Inquisition. Okay, so you can, if you want to peruse them now, or you can
Just give them a perusal.
Okay, just a quick perusal over it. The first, The Hymns to the Dawn, seems to be a volume of chants to the Morning Lord. Not too surprising there. I'm trying to get my music to sort itself out. The Uses of Logic, Blade of Truth one appears to be kind of a weird book that mixes a bit of logic exercise with sort of lurid descriptions of fiend-worshipping cults. So, kind of an unusual approach to some of the...
Does it specify how to use logic against these cults?
It's less of a... It seems more of like a... not in a, like... Not in anything other than an argumentative way. It's
Okay.
it's not very much in the sense of, like... it doesn't seem to be, at least from what you're picking up from an initial reading, that this is something that, like, yeah, this I could use this to defeat a cultist kind of deal.
Worth a shot.
It seems more of like a theoretical exercise / religious, almost like a religious intervention that you might use to deprogram someone who's been programmed by this cult deal.
That could be quite useful.
So Jennifer's being very obnoxious and reading out loud over your shoulder as you're thumbing through the books.
I love it.
How tall are you?
I'm really tall, 5'11"-ish.
Okay, Claudiu's 5 feet, so yeah.
Okay.
You're
Looking
down.
down. Speaking of which, do you know anything about this? Oh gosh, what is it? The Black Mages? Hold on. Mages Rebellion?
I mean, only what you heard with Donovich. Sounds like they went to stand against our pal who wrote the letter in the castle, and they got thrown down.
Yeah.
Although it's a little weird that they never found the big mage's body, because that's in this land where the dead don't tend to rest. That's a little scary.
Yeah. Agreed.
So we can ask Danu or Doru about that. Sounds like he went and followed the mage, and that's when he fell in this pickle he's in.
Well, I hope he'll be agreeable, but I highly doubt it.
With folks like that, working with, we'll say, addictions, bargaining. Start with bargaining.
Okay. I'll leave you to it.
Okay, thanks. Just
What a
like the
giver.
wolves.
Just like the wolves, yeah.
Did you say that?
I did.
Well, when one is approached by a pack of wolves, you don't just automatically go and fight it. Just like when one is approached by a skeleton rider, you don't just go ahead and attack it.
Okay, first off, religion on the second one. The first one, though, there's more wolves than people where I come from. Just gotta deal with them like any other pest.
She's like looking at her nails. Like, well, you're braver than I am. Or stupider.
It's all about whether or not you live.
All
Fair
right.
enough. And here we are.
Largely a matter of hindsight, probably. So is the team heading down into the depths below with
Was there anything? You said there was a tinderbox, other knickknacks in the room?
a tinderbox and a couple closed boxes.
Jennifer will go kind of open up some of those closed boxes.
Okay. They contain candles. There seems to be about 8 total left between the two boxes, but plenty of space as if there were more that have been used up.
Okay. She'll just close the box.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, heading forward?
Yes.
Unless, Nora, you wanted to do anything else?
Nora's just like smiling as big as ever, and you guys have like rarely ever seen her smile. So it looks really weird on her face, out of place. But she's just like flipping this card back and forth and kind of just like lighting up things in her hands. Just as she's standing there not really paying attention to anything that you guys have been doing for like the past few minutes.
All right. So, who's leading it's a 5 foot wide stairway as you guys open the trap door. Who's leading the charge down below?
I think Darian and Nora were the ones exploring that first.
Okay.
Oh, just as a heads up, yeah. So his son's name's Doru, and he's probably what sounds like maybe a vampire. Just so you guys know, and she'll relay the information that the priest told about the battle mage and storming the castle and everything.
My money's on a ghoul, but we'll
Or
see.
cool. You would know better,
We'll find out.
but just be prepared.
Werewolf.
After those wolves, that's all I had in my head.
Okay. So, heading on down then. Sort of. Or in your case. As you limp down with your stub and set up there, you guys make your way down into pitch darkness in this space. It's almost too dark for the space that it should be in. It feels cramped and crowded. This sort of undercroft basement area, and it's very quiet in the space down below. And then you sort of hear like a kind of rattling of a chain going taut And you, Darian, with your dark vision, would be able to see the grayed outline of an emaciated, thin character of young age, maybe early 20s, thin, like patchy, missing spots of straggled brown hair, and you see already sort of claws extending from the hands in a sort of menacing way, outstretched towards you, but a collar around his neck, and restraining him to a post that has been set in the back of the basement area where he is restrained, and he's kind of right up against it, and he's just a tiny bit, a few drops even. I can smell it. It smells so good. So this is what everyone comes down the stairs to.
Can we discern what? Can Darian discern what's different about him?
I mean, you can tell as he's opened his mouth, he's got fangs. Where his canines are, they're really pronounced. At least a few inches, like an inch or so longer than normal. Aside from that, he just looks like a starving guy. He obviously looks unwell. There's like scratch marks and bite marks all over his body, where it seems like he bit and scratched himself, maybe, since they're in strange places, in strange frequency. So he's got kind of crusted sores all over his body. So yeah, I mean, he's straining kind of right against the thing. You're worried for a second that he's going to throttle himself, but he sort of seems to kind of resettle, and then he kind of just does this sort of stalking motion, more spider-like than human, kind of crawling up against, and you see him slowly crawl up the wall on the opposite side of the post, and he kind of just stays there up against the wall, almost like with his legs bowed like a frog's, when his eyes kind of watching you, which are like yellowish slits, and he's kind of peering at you in the dark and sort of making this wrestling, rasping noise.
Is the ground here dirt or wood or stone?
It is dirt floor basement.
Okay, so Darian's gonna cast Create Bonfire to
Okay.
create enough light for the rest of the party to see.
Okay. As the bonfire crackles forth from Darian's magic, sort of appearing with a sort of silvery bluish tinge to it, the fire illuminates the space, and the poor wretch held within, as you see Doru there, poised like predator and prey there on the wall, continuing with that rasping noise.
And so Darian
You all
just had
smell
an
so
extra
good.
second or two.
Just a drop! Just a drop!
Jeez, you've seen better days.
So Darian, who's had an extra second or two to see him, says that he looks well beyond my ability to influence or to help. I think we may need someone particularly powerful to help him.
Does he look more like a ghoul? Like, does he look similar to a ghoul that we've seen?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Can I borrow a d20?
Oh, gee.
That is going to be a 22.
You've seen ghouls before here in this land, and he does not appear to be a ghoul. Not the same kind of rotted look, no sort of elongated face and tongue, or the stench of the ghoul. There's the stench of human waste down here, but no.
Okay.
And he says, please, just a drop, just a drop, just a drop, just a drop. Kind of almost rocking back and forth on the wall.
I got some bread, man.
Warmth inside you, warmth inside you.
I'll like turn the bread like bright yellow light.
Just a drop, please! And he lurches against the chain, yet again being sort of yanked by his collar and leash. But you notice the post is sort of, as he's doing this, he just, and he kind of lunges again, and again gets pulled up short, almost like a dog reaching the end of its leash. And he sort of, and he's pacing on all fours, more animal than human at this stage. And he's, please, anything, just a drop.
He's like an addict. Claudio, help. Hey, Doru. How's it going?
Hungry. Have you ever been starving? So starving. Please, just a drop. Just anything will do.
We're gonna help you.
A little bit of blood. You have it inside you. Please.
We want you not to feel like this anymore. Not to.
So do I.
If we can help you, would you help us?
Yes. Anything, please, anything.
How long have you been like this, Doru?
Give me the blood.
Maybe. Would it hurt if we gave him blood? Do I know that?
You do not know.
I feel like that's. I don't know where I was going with
Go
that.
for it. Commit to the accent.
That was a different one.
You got
Get
it.
to the right one this time. So maybe we don't give the pseudo vampire blood. We don't know what he is, but
Maybe it'd
You know.
be a little bit more agreeable, and we could figure out how to help him.
So you guys, I think, did a little bit of discussion about what your knowledge of vampires is, and you know a little bit of the information about this, and you know that generally individuals are turned if they're drained dry, and then brought back. And so
I remember you saying something about like multiple feedings could do.
yeah, multiple
same thing.
feedings over time. So obviously not in control the same way like a legendary monstrous vampire is that you would know of having read about from your sort of anti-undeath background from Kelenvor. So that's about what you have right now. I'm gonna go check on the I'm gonna check on the thing.
How long have you been
There are a couple
hungry?
dead wolves outside. If we don't want to give our blood, we can maybe drag one of the wolves in here to keep him alive until we can figure out a better solution. Unless the blood is going
Flesh of the sentient, blood, here and now. And he kind of, and this time, like, he's staying and straining, and you sort of hear, like, a from the back of the chain here. Like, you guys get the sense that, unless satiated or restrained further, he might pull himself free soon.
Seeing that, I'm going to cast sleep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your effect there.
Can I steal sense? Okay, 1, 2. That is 10 and 17.
17. Pouring in the magic, it sort of wafts over him, and for a second his eyes kind of flicker, but you, as your magic reacts to him, you sense that this is a stronger creature than just what the emaciated, whatever darkness has been instilled upon him has lent him some greater power. You didn't reach the threshold.
Okay. Yeah, he's not as weak as he seems, guys.
Can I try casting whole person on him?
Sure, go ahead, and so that is a, what kind of save?
Wisdom, I believe.
Wisdom save.
Use that spell slot.
Stat block, there it is. You go ahead and attempt to cast it, but he is not a person. So targets humanoids. So unfortunately, your magic doesn't even doesn't begin to.
So guys,
Take it
this
back.
isn't foolproof or anything, but my magic that works on people does not work on him. Which
Hey,
carries with it some implications, such as that he's not human.
Again, he's and much more ferally pushing against the
Maybe
The chains
maybe
here.
We should probably leave,
We
guys.
should probably leave. Yep.
But he's gonna kill his father if we leave him like this. Darian,
that's what trapdoors for.
you can mess with dirt, right? Can you use dirt to reinforce the post?
So at this point, the chain at the end of, like, where the chain connects to the post is what's straining.
Okay, gotcha.
Just to clarify.
Rather than reinforcing the post, as Darian's going to sort of usher the team out and sort of say, come on. Let's try and leave. And as he's sort of moving towards the door, he's going to cast Mold Earth.
Okay.
And he's going to pull the earth with him
Okay.
to put in front of the door before he closes it.
Okay. So creating a little bit of like a earth mound to help.
To help barrier, yeah. It
Bury
makes
him.
it difficult terrain and to try and block the door. He can put 5 cubic feet of earth in front of the door.
Okay. Is everyone rushing out? Is anyone staying behind?
Nope, we're out.
Okay, so everyone rushes up the stairs, and you guys mold the earth at the base of the stairs and shut the door at the top of the trapdoor space. And he's like, no, please, just a drop. I'll tell you anything. And again, you sort of kind of hearing this chain rattling and crashing, and at some point you hear, and everything goes quiet.
Oh shit! Guys, be ready.
I'm gonna cast Mold Earth on the other side of the door as well.
Okay, so hang on. You're upstairs now. This is wood. You've climbed wooden stairs. There's no earth to mold. There was earth to mold at the base of the stairs. At the base of the stairs. You've gone through the trapdoor, up the stairs, shut the door. Now you're in the wooden church floor as before. So that's where we're
Grab the pews.
Yeah,
move
maybe
over.
we should barricade with the pews.
So Ismark is sort of like, what is going on? What's happening?
Oh, his son's gonna break free, and he's kind of not in a state that we want him to be out. If you get my meaning.
Immediately he's like, Irina, stay back! And he quickly grabs the nearest pew and begins pushing and helping with you guys. Thank you, Brandon, for the nacho delivery.
Yeah, actually, let me make this delivery.
Oh no, I just meant thank you. That's all. Anyway, and Irina's sort of like, oh, kind of irritated, but kind of gets back a little bit. Donovich immediately is like, no, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Not my son. Please, I can restrain him. I can calm him just a little bit more. And he rolls up his sleeve, and you see all these little marks, on his arm. And he's rolling up his sleeve and immediately rushes towards the space where the trapdoor is. So his intent is clear, to feed his son.
Oh, no.
I mean, clearly he's done it before. Maybe. I don't know. Do we knock him out? He's gonna go crazy if we do.
We could try to hold him. His son's gonna kill him. He's not gonna be able to have the control. He's off his chain now.
Ah.
All right, what's everyone doing, team? We don't have too much time to react.
I guess
It's
we're.
early morning. Are there windows that we can see or light that we could put where he would come up, so you'd have to walk through the light?
Good question. Aside from a couple of the spaces, like the one that Nora found while she was sifting around in the one room, most of the windows have been boarded up, and there aren't many entrances or exits that are open to the outside in any way. Doors and all that kind of stuff, all of it's been boarded up. Remember that there's signs of attack and damage here in the church, just as there was with the mansion of the Kolyanovich family and the burgomaster.
What's the roof like?
Damaged and tattered, but not readily accessible either. So, I mean, it's higher than what you can reach is what I'm getting at there. Just standing.
Looking about, if something was to hit the roof, would that part collapse, do you think?
You're not sure? Only one way to find out, really.
Does it look like we could take
So
down
Darian
the
shares
board?
with the team, he says, I think I have an idea. I can try opening the roof if you guys want to take a step back. That would let in enough sunlight, hopefully, to keep him inside the trapdoor.
There's no sunlight in Barovia.
Who's
Well,
daylight
enough
outside?
light, as it were.
Well, Nora's gonna walk up to the closest area to where if he were to come up, she's gonna cast light right
Okay.
there on that area to try and hopefully at least give us a chance.
Okay.
If he comes through there.
Is there any garlic about?
Not that you see. But you hear sort of a...
My shield up.
And then for a little bit it all goes quiet, and by the space of the trapdoor you sort of get this sort of kind of rattling, scratching sound, and Donovich is rolling up his sleeve and ready to present his arm, and he's like, stay back, I will calm him, and he has his arm ready to present to his son.
Irina, it'll kill him.
Help us restrain him. Stop. Do not let him do this. She's kind of behind Ismark, who's pushing things around. But clearly the situation is getting a little bit out of hand for her taste, and she's wanting everyone to sort of be able to sort it out. So she's kind of like, restrain him, quickly, restrain him.
I'll move to restrain.
Darian is going to cast Friends.
Oh.
Okay,
Priest.
okay. You cast Friends.
And then he's going to try and hold it back and say, look, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. And I'm going to try and persuade him / hold him back.
Okay, make a persuasion check. You can go ahead and make a strength check there, Cledu, to try and hold him back.
I got... So Friends lets me make it with advantage. And I got a 21.
Okay. You get the sense that words are not exactly the best tool to reach this guy. It was a great idea, but he's kind of crazy. So he didn't regard you as an antagonist before, and he still doesn't entirely, but he's going to do whatever he can for his son, and it seems like it's not, at this point, with that high of a roll, you get the sense that you're now friends with an insane person. Like, he's clearly not with it. There's his son is his world, and his world is a broken place. He says, no, I can heal him. What did you get there, Cledu, for the restraint?
16.
16. Yeah, that's enough to restrain him. The big burly dwarf kind of wrapping your arms underneath his, and kind of holding him back. You kind of have to lean a little bit because he's taller than you.
I'm used to it.
But, yeah, he's sort of, no, please, my son, feed him. Just a drop, he'll calm down and we can chain him back up more securely.
Nora's gonna walk up in front of him and just kind of like have her shield up and her sword ready just in case.
Okay. At this point, Irina says, no, don't kill him. Perhaps we can assist. Can we at least try and feed him something? Was anyone hurt during the battle? Is there someone who can yield a little bit of blood?
Does blood on swords count? It's like Nora's looking at hers.
So remember, that was wolf blood that you have on his.
Yeah, okay.
And you remember Doru saying that he wanted blood of the sentient.
You got bit.
There's no way I'm letting him drink my blood.
What was you saying?
At this point, Mary Lou says, I got bit too, and I'll donate to the cause, and kind of she kind of tears a bit of her, like, cloth that she's wearing, and she seems kind of, like, totally able to do it, but also totally nonchalant about it, and just, like, swabs her arm that has some blood on it from where she got bitten, and is sort of, like, wafting it, and then hands it over to Nora. You're at the front there, so she'll hand it over to you. Well, maybe this will calm him down. Give it a whirl.
Okay.
And you're handed a bloodied rag.
like,
And she's kind of just like, this is a Tuesday afternoon, the kind of like behavior with her nonchalantness. Was it the door? Anyway, does someone want to just check really fast? Please. But yeah, you have it ready there if you want to. You have the bloodied cloth.
Okay.
And from there, what is everyone doing?
Doru, if we give you a little bit, will you calm down?
There's a stunning, too quiet sound. There's no more rasping at the door. There's nothing else.
Doru, we have blood here for you. If you cooperate.
And all of a sudden, just like in a shower of splinters, in force clearly beyond an emaciated young man, Doru pushes up, and the two, the trapdoor just comes hurling up. He's covered in dirt and mud. He seems to, his arms especially, seems to have clawed away at Darian's little mound of earth here. And we have, just in time for an exciting moment, we have Megan, Mary Lou's player, joining us here. So welcome.
Thank you for your very kind and generous donation of your blood to the vampire.
You're feeding a vampire.
Oh, look, I listened to most of it except the last few minutes where things happened, apparently.
Yes, things have happened. Welcome. So catching up quite briefly and recapping for any of those who are following along at home. There was a wolf battle. You guys won. You got a little bit injured and are exhausted from doing your frenzied rage. But you cleverly thought to use your a swath of cloth, swabbing your blood, to use to lure out / satiate the now sort of escaped son of Donovich the priest, who clearly is begging for blood. So no rush, no rush. Take your time.
Yeah, you're okay.
It's all good. We're just resetting here really quickly for those at home. Thank you for bearing with us. But all good. Part of the schedule at the moment with folks coming and going at different hours. But Doru has burst through the underground trapdoor that the team discovered and is sort of scuttling forward. Again, more spider-like than human, like a spider pursuing its prey on a table. It immediately goes straight for the cloth that you're holding, and just he bites and just starts gnawing and licking the whole thing. The whole thing just continuously, continuously consuming and doing it, and he's like, and he's kind of doing this twitching motion towards each of you. And hang on. And Donovich is like, no, don't kill him, Doro, calm, we'll get you more. They're injured, and they can. And he's like, injured, more. And he kind of is like calming him. He's a little calmer, but clearly is ready to get more as he's finishing up what's on the rag, and is like sucking on it. So what's everyone doing here?
I'm still restraining his dad.
You are.
Mary Lou will try to restrain him.
Okay. So you go ahead and make a attack roll, unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. Natural 20.
Hey, welcome to the table with your natural 20. Mary Lou, without a problem. You see him like you've been in some bar brawls, including some with biting foes, and he immediately kind of lashes towards you, and you grab him by the hair, shove his face forward, and put him in like a behind the neck arm lock, pushing his face down towards the floor. And Dora's like, no, don't hurt him, chain him quickly. Anyone have anything to restrain? And you are successfully restraining him, although, like, for an emaciated looking kid, this guy's strong. And like some kind of power is behind his limbs as you're working and struggling against him. What's everyone doing? So that's what you're doing. You're restraining the father. Jennifer, Nora, Darian, what's your guys'
Nora's
status?
gonna at least try and run up and wrap with some rope around him until
Okay.
we find something better.
Okay, you've got some rope. So go ahead and make a straight dexterity roll to see how ably you're able to tie this out. Normally be at disadvantage, but Mary Lou's holding him down to straighten it.
14.
14. Okay, that's not bad.
Okay.
You certainly are able to bind him in a way that it seems like it's reasonably thorough. But you get the sense that, like, this guy's stronger than ropes will restrain for much longer. It's helping Mary Lou out, and she doesn't have to keep rolling to hold
I'm
him.
gonna say, like, guys, this isn't gonna hold for long as I'm, like, tying it.
Okay, so what's everyone else doing?
Donovich, chains. Where can I find chains?
Does anyone have chains or ways
Down
of
below.
carrying the
Down
chains?
below, the chains that I used before. We can just wrap him more thoroughly.
Is there food?
Nachos.
I'm gonna run down.
Okay, you run down. There's a, like, kind of half pulled apart dirt pile at the bottom. Go ahead and make a dexterity check as you try and, like, maneuver over it.
Yes, I can do that. I'm so used to playing Pacifica where I use electronic dice. That's a 10.
A 10, okay. You're able to manage to get over.
Okay.
You kind of go over it a little. You're like, glad no one saw that kind of deal, but you got over it. And the chain has indeed yanked off from the pillar, and the collar, which was leather, corded around his neck, has been just like yanked off and is broken.
Okay.
But the length of chain is otherwise intact. There was a smaller link at the post that broke, but otherwise the chain is reasonably intact.
Okay.
It's about 10 feet in length.
10
A
feet,
little
okay.
less than 10 feet.
Okay.
About 8 feet in length.
I'm gonna run back up.
Okay. With a noisy, loud chain in your arms, laden together between the nat 20 and the rope already. Also, go ahead and roll with advantage, a straight dex roll to see how able you are to restrain him with chains.
What I want to do is I have a piton.
I think it's a piton.
Piton?
Piton.
I wanna. Do you know like when you when when you're like trying to choke somebody and you can twist the chain tight.
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Garrote. A garrote.
A garrote or a garrote.
When you go
Yeah, and you're tightening it. That's what I'm going to use for that too. So dex roll.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a dex roll. Yeah, okay.
Net 20!
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And kind of grasping at like clawing with deep furrows into the wood, you were able to restrain and pull his neck back and kind of have him restrained. He kind of looks like almost a mummified character now in rope and chain, and now he's struggling, kind of twitching in a way,
And you
but
guys-
is otherwise more stable. He also seems to be quite clearly is starting to lose a little bit of momentum and seems to be calming down at least enough to listen. And it seems like he has to fight back, but he doesn't want to, as much as that makes sense. That was good. That was good.
I know, right? And there's a sadistic little twinkle in Jennifer's eye as she's doing that.
Oh, gee. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's only went a new direction.
Yeah. Take off my
Next
time,
time, one of you's giving the blood.
Sorry, I volunteered you.
You're good. You're good.
I refused on grounds of undead.
Remind me not to be late on the day that we fight Strahd.
All right. So at this point, Ismark is like, "Wow, well done, Irina. I think you are in good hands after all. Excellent strength, my lady, and good with the chain.
Thank you.
Um,
It's not my first time.
And in any case,
I was like, okay.
in any case, there is certainly some concern here, but Doru, with your permission, perhaps we can return, Donovich, perhaps we can return, with your permission, your son to his location. We might need to board up the trapdoor." He says, yes, don't hurt him. Please, we can find a way to help him.
Uh-huh. A total. We can definitely, and she'll sort of turn away from Donovich, help him.
And, okay. So quickly, let's see. Jennifer and Nora and Mary Lou are the ones who have restrained this individual and have him at their mercy, more or less. So you guys pushing or sending him back down, escorting him back down. He seems more receptive and kind of pliable. He's looking around and he's kind of, twitching as much as he's able to. He says, "What do you want?"
Just to talk, now that you're calm.
Talk. More of that later. More.
I'm gonna look at Mary Lou.
You.
Me! I don't have any cuts though. I have a cut myself. You got one right there.
Nora's just like slits her hand.
Yes, that.
Why? Why are you like this?
Wow.
Why are you
Nora's
like
not
this?
a people person, okay?
I just ask people why they're like this.
He found me.
these.
He found me. He got me. I woke.
Who's this person? Can you describe him?
The only one. The master, the only one. He is the land, the ancient, and all that is within.
Oh, does he have a favorite initial? Does it go something like
You're not getting any further response or reaction from him.
But buddy, we'll give you more blood. We need more than that. We need more than the ancient.
I don't know.
And
Where am I?
you're in your dad's basement, buddy.
Father, please. More blood, more answers, please. Ask already.
How long have you been like this?
All day, all days, all time, since the revolt, since the days with the mad mage. The mage, he led us there and led us astray. We are gone now. He is gone now. We're all gone. It all went dark, so dark, so dark.
What happened on the day of when you stormed the castle?
Everything went dark. Everything went dark. They fought. The Great One and the Mage. They cast him down. He cast him down. And there is nothing more left for him to get. Nothing more. Nothing more. He is all gone. It's all gone. It's all over.
Do you know why he made you the way that you are?
I woke up this way. I woke up. You should know something of that.
Oh.
Look at you. Touched by shadow. I see you as you are.
What do you mean?
Laura's gonna like look over at you like.
She looks perfectly as she has before, her half mask covering part of her face, but otherwise looking like a pale individual.
He's just psychobabbled him. I don't know what he means.
Did he affect anybody else like you?
I woke up. I came back
That's
here.
okay.
I came back here and was chained to darkness. So hungry. Please, more. I've answered. Please. Please.
He answered.
I'll like grab the cloth and like rub some of my blood on it, and then like
Again, he just
I'll like throw it at his
grabs
face.
at it. And seems to consume it. But again, like shuddering, and just clearly receiving his the substance he is addicted to, kind of pliable again, and kind of. What do you want? Leave this place before I have to do more.
Let's lock him up. I don't think we're gonna get any more out of this.
So how tall is this guy?
About 5'7".
Okay. So while they're doing this, Darian walks over to sort of Fudu and says, we're gonna need to restrain him more thoroughly than the post this time. Do you have any ideas?
I mean, outside of heavy chain, no, not really.
I mean, immobilizing at least a couple of his limbs is gonna be better than just his neck.
And so he's sort of talking to Fudu and he's saying, I was thinking I could half bury him.
So right now, just to clarify, right now his arms are kind of bound to his chest, and he's kind of bound up to the neck, in chain and rope.
So
I like the
could
half
dig a
buried
hole, and
idea.
he's talking to Fudu, I could dig a hole with my new abilities, and we could drop him in and cover him, and leave his head sticking out. That might give him more restraint with all the
If he
chains.
can breathe.
I mean, that's what he leaves ahead of us. It's like burying someone in sand, I guess.
Get tired after a while.
So is that what Darian's doing?
That's a
He's
great idea.
using
He's
this.
talking with Fudu and trying to get Fudu's feedback or getting him on board, because he's like, I'm not sure I should do this, but this guy seems like he's gonna be crazy and might kill the priest.
I mean, given the strength he's shown, I would figure he could get out. I mean, it might slow him down for a while, but I think the end result will probably still be the same.
I think we still need chains.
I think if he's in chains,
So he's currently chained. He's currently in rope.
right, buried up
So
to
we
his
chain
neck
him,
in
we rope him,
chains,
we bury
he
him.
shouldn't be able to break it out.
Okay.
I
What do you
mean,
guys think? And now he's sort of bringing the rest of the party into the conversation and she has his idea. What do you think? Or do you have another idea on how to restrain him?
I think that's a great idea, and the sooner we do it, the better.
I mean-
so do you guys want to try and make him open to the idea?
I mean, you guys have control of him clearly right now.
Okay.
He's in chain. He's in rope. You guys, and he's got blood in him. He's more pliable, certainly, and between the multiple of you guys with Mary Lou's strength and the condition he's in now, you guys can definitely do this without further attempts.
So we're gonna go try and find you some help and try and make sure that you don't harm anybody in the meantime. And Darian's gonna cast Mold Earth and remove 5 cubic feet of earth
Okay.
so that just his head can stick out.
Okay. He says, "Leave some supply. Leave some supply. I will starve, please."
Doru, is there anything else you can tell us that can help you?
Please leave some supply. It'll help.
I understand.
I don't think he's gonna tell us anything helpful.
I don't think so. Into the pit he goes.
Okay.
Push him in, and then another 5 feet of molded earth filling him up right up to his neck. So he's in ropes, in chains, in hard packed earth.
Okay. He's secured like that. Are you guys leaving any more blood, or is he just as he is now?
If we really want to save him, how much does he need? Why don't we ask the priest? How often has he been getting fed?
At this point, Donovich is kind of in shambles, seeing his son again like that. He's not. He's just like.
Do we think we need to give him more blood, or do you think he'll be okay?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, like, is he telling the truth or is he just, like, really addicted?
Or
You have no idea. You don't know the rate at which vampires need blood.
anyone else want to help me?
Yeah, I'll help.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
7.
He clearly benefited from the blood, but he also he was also stronger after he had it too.
Yeah.
Wait.
You don't know how long he's been down here. Hang on, Michael. You don't know how long he's been down here. You don't know how often he's been fed. So it's very hard to know for sure. Clearly, like I said, clearly benefited from the blood, but also like got stronger. You actually notice that some of his more fresh wounds that he's clearly put on himself have closed since he got the blood.
Okay.
I mean, I've known plenty of guys that act like this about alcohol, and solutions very rarely get them more drunk.
Nicholas, just generally, if you're proficient in the skill, because I'm proficient in insight, do you roll with advantage?
No, proficiency includes your proficiency bonus, which is included in the bonus you're getting to the roll.
Got it. Okay, then he should be alright. He looks at least better off than he was when we found him, right? Because he had scratches and bites and things that are now starting to heal. And we don't want to make him too strong, otherwise he might break out.
Yeah, I'm not
At this point, you hear from up above, Ismark saying, "I think we need to barricade this space and leave him be. I'm not leaving Irina near him any longer. Please, let us go. We've all agreed. I'm staying. Irina's going. I think that we should leave this one alone. No offense, Donovich, but you have a little bit more work to do on the praying front, I think, before he is rightened.
Savage.
Perhaps if we can all find a better way, more powerful magic, this abbot, anything, but I am not interested in exposing Irina any further to this situation."
Alright, let's get on out. Let's go visit the shopkeeper.
Okay. Does Donovich, like, did he even acknowledge what Ismark was saying to him?
Nothing whatsoever. He's like a crying, whimpering heap in the corner. This guy is like just totally broken. Seeing his son like this again, he's just beyond the pale for him.
If we barricade it with a bunch of pews, he probably won't be able to get in there, right? Okay.
Judging by him, he looks like a sallow, sort of sunken person. Doesn't look like he's eaten a lot lately.
Okay. Let's take a moment and really make it difficult for the father to get in there as well. We don't want him feeding his son.
Okay.
I'm still grappling him, by the way.
You've let him go by now. Like, he's loosened. I mean, it's up to you, but he's slackened, and he's just kind of a broken, just sobbing mess. But you guys take a few minutes and easily barricade up the semi-opened trapdoor that allowed Doru to escape the first time, putting some pews and stuff over that space.
Okay.
And you feel confident that, at least for the moment, he's probably not going to make any imminent escape.
Okay.
Irina says, "Ismark, this is why we have to help. This can't go on, and we can't let more of the villagers succumb to this kind of problem." He says, "I know, Irina, I know, but you also need to get out of here so you don't succumb to the same problem. The devil has shown interest in you specifically." And she says, "Yes, that's why I'm going, but first, let us help some others here. Let us go back. Now that it is morning, let us at least go back to the mansion and stay there, you and I. You can keep watch to your heart's content over me and our allies. Yes, are you still willing to help?"
Yeah, we can go talk to some of the villagers that might need some help. But Irina, can you spend time today while we're around town really fortifying the mansion so that we can stay there tonight and feel safe about it?
At this point, Ismark chimes in and says, I will help make sure that we barricade as best we can, but also I suggest that you leave today. Take the time of the dawn to get some head start. It should not be too far to Vallaki if you make some haste. Perhaps more than a day, perhaps not, but early morning like this is the best time to go. Once the night hits, things get worse everywhere in Barovia.
Wouldn't we want to leave tomorrow morning then?
Well, it is still relatively early now. We must go, and already the attacks are getting worse. The wolves, even in the morning.
I don't think if we don't get a night's sleep that we'll be able to survive.
Make a persuasion check.
It should be 11.
You get the sense.
Yeah, 11.
So he responds by saying, I think it is best that we make haste in general out of this. Visit the shopkeeper, deliver the goods, do whatever you have to do, but get through it as best we can, because I think the longer that we delay, more reinforcements might attack over and over, and a night's rest is all well and good, but who's to say that it will even be achieved at all?
Understood. All right. Well, with that, let's go visit Periwinkle.
Before we leave, have you heard about anyone by the name of Lady Eva? Madam Eva?
Madam Eva.
Yes, yes, she is one of the Vistani. I'm not much for fates and fortunes myself. I suggest you tread carefully if you are to deal with her. I believe she dwells down by the Ivlis River's Serpool, not far on the road. You'll see it on the way, but please do not dwell too much if you must visit her. I will not tell you too much of what to do, for you are obviously doing us a great service, but there is also much to be considered here in safety. Alright, so, what's everyone doing?
Alright, let's go to town. Let's get supplies.
Nora's starting to walk out the door.
Okay. Somewhere in there, Ismark also says, don't forget to consult your map. It might help determine how long it will take you to get to Vallaki. And so pulling out the map, I'm sorry I don't have a good option for it to be shown on camera, but it's pretty. Take my word for it, viewers at home.
It's pretty.
I'm still working my way through learning OBS and all the streaming stuff. But you are with the scale of the map and a little help from Irina, who knows her way around a little bit more of this region. The total on the road distance to Vallaki is about 40 or more miles, 40, 45 miles, somewhere in that range. And so a normal day's travel is about 24 miles. That's at normal pace.
And on the road, how far to the Sayers Pool?
To the Serpool, you can see it's also there. It looks like there's some kind of like crossroads mark and section that sort of is listed as this little pool. It's not labeled or anything, but Irina can point it out on the map for you, and shows that it looks like to the pool itself total is about 10 miles.
Is it in the same direction as Vallaki?
It is, yes. You guys are pretty easternmost in Barovia at the village, with Barovia, the village here, Ravenloft kind of a little bit to the north overlooking, and then carrying on through the space is all of these other landmarks, and Vallaki's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Well, isn't that convenient? Maybe we can stop there for tonight.
I probably rest with the Vestani.
Yeah.
Ismark kind of shifts uncomfortably, but doesn't say anything.
Ismark, is there something you want to say?
I trust your judgment, but please be careful among the Vistani.
They seem nice to me.
The devil's spies are everywhere.
Oh. Okay.
All right, with that, seems like you guys are parting ways from the trio there in the church, and you guys are heading out into the open. Is that right?
Can I talk to Ismark before we go?
Mhm.
Ismark, so Irina was mentioning something about your sword and Periwinkle's uncle. What does that mean?
Kind of glares at Irina. I traded it. You see, we needed more resources to keep barricading up and repair the mansion as it was being attacked over and over. And so his prices are so high, and he won't bargain for anything. And so I traded our heirloom, the silvered sword, of my father and his father before him, for resources to further barricade the windows, iron bars, crowbars, and other defenses, some traps to set for beasts.
Oh, well, desperate times.
Indeed. At least I have this, and he kind of pats his short sword.
Yeah, good thing you do.
Indeed.
Okay, thank you.
So having had our little encounter with Doru there,
Mm-hmm.
would Claudio have a better idea of what he is? Or what he's become, rather? Or is it that he just wouldn't know?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Okay. He does not know.
What'd you get?
6.
Yeah, it's not totally clear what has become of him. I would say not clearly some lesser version of the legends that you know of, but not otherwise much more specific than that.
Okay.
Okay, heading out into the dreary light of day here. The mist is heavy, but through it you can see the heavy, large castle looming in the distance, overshadowing high on the mountain that this area kind of bleeds up against at the base of the town. The town is at the base of this sort of mountain space where the castle is built upon. And not too far from you, you don't see it, but you do hear sort of a cart sliding along on cobblestone and gravel. So what is everyone doing?
So, do we still have Lancelot with us? Is the little dog still...
Yeah, he's still around. I'm assuming he's kind of on Darian's person. Little spaniel found in a previous part of the adventure in the house before we started recording. But he sort of...
Well,
Didn't we
maybe.
determine... So, as far as the little dog goes, didn't we figure out who his owner was?
Yeah,
Gertrude?
Gertruda,
Mm-hmm.
daughter, who's missing, but Mad Mary is the one that keeps crying, apparently, so maybe we should...
We should at least swing by and let old Lancelot off, yeah.
Yeah.
And you do hear like some sort of like...
Let's do that before we go to
Yeah.
the shop. That seems... Maybe she'll be happier to see this dog.
Might be able to help us out with negotiating for good deals and things too.
Okay, so you go around, and you heading away from the church, get down back to the main plaza area. You're heading more towards the space where that intersection was with the Mercantile, Bildrath's Mercantile, and the Blood on the Vife Tavern, and that sort of central plaza space. And a little bit past that is the house where the sobbing seemed loudest, just past the Mercantile. But as you get to that main plaza, you see a rather hunched, elderly-looking lady with a cart with several stacked, steaming pies, small pies, probably in the hand, like almost a muffin size. And she sees you, and her eyes sort of lighten. It's sort of a sunken-looking older lady, and she says, "Hello, hello, travelers. Hello.
Hello.
Well, would you like to buy something, stomachs grumbling, or things that, could use a little warming in this time of Cold! Oh, yes, it'll be good. Just a little bit, lovely recipe. Would you like a little bit taste, yes. 1 gold per pie.
Looking at her, how much do I trust her?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, pie sounds delicious.
Yes, meat pie, keep you warm and your stomach full.
I haven't seen any game around lately. What meat would you use for these?
Oh, well, my daughters and I, we work hard to make sure that we have a good mixture of all sorts. There's wolf and venison and all sorts to find here in the woods if you know where to look for them.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure. What was your insight check there, Nora?
4.
She seems like a nice old lady to you, and a pie sounds delicious as a start to your day.
A 14 for me, Nicholas.
Okay. She seems like, she's selling pie and just kind of is doing her thing. So she says, "Oh yes, very good." And the smell is like delicious smelling. You guys haven't eaten anything this morning. It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Just hungry and solid.
Do you want me to get you some nachos?
No, but I'm just teasing. Thank you, Megan, for the delicious chocolate truffles that you make and bring.
I'm not too hungry. What about you guys?
1 gold's a lot for a pie.
Like a meal. It's like maybe
That's the most expensive pie I've ever heard of.
Hagglers. Well, name your price. We can maybe work something out. A 2 for 1, 3 for 1 even deal. Look at you all, hungry mouths.
Who all wants a pie?
You're
I'll
gonna
take
have to
one that's a
compete with the
reasonably
tavern's
priced pie.
prices.
Yeah, the tavern. What would they know about a good food? That man doesn't have a soul, let alone anything to put into his cooking. I've put hard sweat, love, and work in my cooking. Oh, it's so delicious. The people love it.
Sweat?
Oh, metaphorical, sweetie. You don't understand.
I've spent some time cooking in hot taverns. I know it's sometimes not so metaphorical.
Oh, we keep most hygienic circumstances. Any inspector would love to stay and see our setup. It's amazing.
inside check.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Did you mention your name?
Oh, you can call me Granny. My name's Morgantha, but it's just a little bit formal.
I agree. Granny's much better.
You just call me Granny. Everybody does, and it's just great. We can all just benefit from a little bit of a pie.
21.
Questionable circumstances behind making the conditions by which she the environment in which she's making the pie. Well, any buyers? Come on, please.
As you can see, and you might understand, it's lean times right now. And I think that a 1 gold pie might be a little bit too indulgent. Thank you, though, Granny. And if you ever want to sell your recipe, let me know.
Oh, a hard bargainer. How about, we'll go 5 silver.
Can I see one? I'd like to see the product before I agree on
Of
a
course,
price.
look, amazing, isn't it? Smell it in.
And I will, gesture towards Lancelot. Be like, what do you think, buddy?
He's sort of... he's seeming hungry, but, Here, I'll make a roll for him. He sort of...
I
Oh,
pull a little piece of bread out of my pocket and put it out to see if he notices.
He's like, kind of immediately interested.
Wants them.
Yeah.
I'll be and then I'll just give it to him.
Oh yes, nice for pets, but you shouldn't feed proper food to your pets. It's important. So mincemeat pie, not really a dog thing, So
This dog is real hungry, man.
Yeah, I've seen.
Granny, what'd you put in that pie?
Where's Nora from? I love it.
All right. So she says, "Well, come on, a package deal then. Look, there's 5 of you. 5 pies for 2 gold. You can't beat that. Come on."
With pie that smells as good as these ones do, I'm sure you won't have a hard time selling to somebody else. But we're gonna have to pass for now. I'm sure you'll get more customers. Thank you, Granny.
Does she speak for all of you then? Come now, it's good.
It's very
Aren't you
tempting,
hungry?
Granny. I have so many rations. I should probably eat some of them.
Mary Lou will put down 2 gold.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
she's
Mary
got
Lou.
Oh, there's a smart woman. I knew you were.
And she hands over 5 pies. So you
Wisdom
have
of 7.
5 mincemeat pies added to your
Seven?
inventory there.
And one. She'll start eating one.
Okay. It is delicious. Like
Oh,
some of the best made pie, and it's so savory and fantastic. Just super delicious.
does she recognize what type of meat it is?
You do not.
Huh.
Good luck.
Hmm.
I've never eaten wolf before, so
Is it the wolf that makes it taste like that?
Oh yes, and some great seasonings you wouldn't believe. The Vistani, they trade. You know, they're traders. They bring in exotic goods, and you know that exotic spices go a long way.
She'll start offering.
Well, if that'll be all, then good day to you, and thank you for your patronage.
just kind of
Pies! Anyone for the pies?
You can't just eat meat pie from Rainbow. That's how you get food poisoning.
I mean, you drink enough alcohol, it'll kill anything that causes food poisoning.
That's fair enough. That's true.
Been my motto. It's a very long motto, but
But I like it.
Oh, you fit right in as a dwarf.
Okay, so you guys are heading back over to the townhouse, though, where Mary was, the crying.
And Darian's gonna have one of his rations while we're walking.
Okay.
I have pie right
Like,
here.
I'm not gonna trust it.
I don't like.
Something's off about him.
Okay. You guys make your way into the door at the multi-story house that is looking, and all the buildings I've seen better days, but this one's looking particularly neglected. And the door is already a little bit ajar. And again, you just hear the coming from within. What's everyone doing?
Which one of us is good with people?
I can give it a shot.
Noah's gonna like look at her toes like.
I mean, I'm okay, but
So Jennifer will
No.
saunter up, knock on the door.
Darian
Hello.
will go right with.
Okay, as you knock on the door, it's like, it's already opened. In the first floor, you see some nice-looking furniture that clearly shows a thick layer of neglect, dust and cobwebs and things like that abound. And the sobbing just. Lancelot quickly scampers off your person and kind of up the stairs he goes and disappears out of sight.
Oh, okay. Well, oh.
And the sobs continue.
I don't think she can hear us over her sobs. I'm coming inside. And Jennifer will enter.
Okay. It is an open space. It looks like this was some kind of townhouse, bed and breakfasty kind of stay-in place once upon a time, but everything is shut down and neglected.
Is there any like pictures on the wall or
There are not.
okay. Any like there's some furnishings.
There are furnishings. They look nice once upon a time,
Okay.
but mostly the common room / kitchen area kind of spaces, or
Okay.
dining area kind of spaces.
Lancelot, where did you go, buddy?
No response.
This is spooky. Okay. Well,
as opposed to the rest of Barovia,
you don't just enter in people's houses.
we literally did that. Like, well, the first thing we did when we entered town was enter someone's house.
And did we have a good time?
That worked out well. We got a dog.
You
after
lost
all.
your foot! And speaking of which, I'll cast Prestidigitation to try to keep some of the rot away and keep it cold.
Okay.
I forgot you still have the foot.
I have the foot.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. It's a foot on ice.
Put on ice.
But it's looking it's smelling a little ripe.
Man, that's the worst Disney on Ice show.
Foot on ice. Mary Lou, go ahead and make a con saving throw for me, please.
Oh.
Oh no!
We knew it was poison.
Yeah.
Delicious.
18.
18. So just you're like, like you let out like a I can't burp on command, but you just let out like a beautiful, just raucous tavern burp.
Oh, a little. And she'll like
7 out of
waft the
10.
burp
Not
away.
bad.
A little indigestion. Did you want some grape mash?
Yes.
I'll hand her my.
Okay. Yep. It goes down like well-watered grape vinegar.
Gotta find some better alcohol. I mean, alcohol's alcohol, but like.
Better stuff, but we'll save that. But in the
Okay.
meantime, let's find the owner of this house, and I will
Fine.
start going up the stairs.
Okay. You head up the stairs, and you see what looks like a pair of rooms that are with doors open, as well as a few other rooms that are shut farther down the hall. It looks like it's just a general hallway, and not much else at the moment. The sobs continue from the room to your left. And they're very loud. Just
So they're. Darian's with me, right?
Yep, I think so.
Is there. The house is unkept, so there might be a layer of dust on all over the surfaces, is that right?
Basically all over this hall that you're in, yes.
Is there anywhere I can see that the dust has been disrupted?
Yes, the room to the left seems clean. The threshold, at least. The dust doesn't go further. I'm sorry?
Any dog prints?
Yeah, the dog prints are up and to the left as well.
Hello?
Hello!
Can I come
Who is
in?
it?
Hi, my name's Jennifer. I think I found your dog. Or your daughter's dog or something. I don't know.
I don't remember having a dog.
Oh, well, it
Doesn't
remembers
deny
you.
Do you head into the left room?
Yeah.
Confident strength, I love it.
I don't want
curiosity,
to.
Nora's like following you, like peeking
Okay.
around.
So
to watch.
great, I love it. You head on in. I love the role playing. You head on in, and it's sourced from the sobs and weeping are sourced from a stricken-looking, old and frail woman in her 50s. She kind of has mousy gray brown hair, and her whole face is stretched tight and thin. She's kind of gaunt and miserable looking. Surprise, surprise. There's a bed that's quite tidy and neatly kept. It looks like the size of maybe for a teenager. Lancelot is curled on the bed there, and he's whining. In Mary's hands is what it looks like a doll, and she's like cradling it and saying, "Oh, my Gertrude is gone. She's gone."
Are you Mary?
Yes, who are you?
Hi, Mary. I'm Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. You're a lovely young thing, just like my daughter was. She's gone now.
Mary, I heard.
I only wanted to keep her safe.
Can you tell me what happened to Gertruda?
I locked her in because the times are bad, and she escaped. She climbed out the window, and she kind of gestures to a window, which looks like it's been recently boarded up after being broken. And she's gone missing. I can't imagine what's happened to her. Wolves or the devil's minions. The devil himself might have interest in her. Please.
Mary, she might be okay. How long has she been missing?
A few days, a week maybe.
What does your daughter look like?
She's lovely, tall-ish, and ivory, beautiful skin like a princess, brown hair, and beautiful, bright, bold green eyes.
Mary Lou wondering, she the only youngish girl that's been taken or missing?
I don't know. I've just tried to keep her safe, but times are bad. I wouldn't be surprised. Those of you who are in the room, who has the highest passive perception? Who's got the passive perception of the team?
I got 11.
Okay.
I presume I would have gone in with them since I had nothing else to do.
Yeah, if you want to.
What is passive perception?
It should be 10 plus your perception bonus.
10 plus perception bonus.
Yep.
I got 13.
That's 16.
Okay. There should be a section for you to write it on your thing, but we'll get to that later at a different point. Now, 16. And Nora?
11.
Okay.
8.
8. Okay. Cladu, you notice that as you are looking farther into the room, it's kind of a creepy looking doll that she's holding on to. It's got a kind of a weird looking, like, kind of weird, cheesy grin smile and kind of weird looking eyes. It's got a tag by the base of the dress that it's wearing, which is a yellow dress. But otherwise, it is also clear to you that the dog is unhappy. Lancelot does not. He's like pacing along the bed. And sort of. And then comes over back to Darian and kind of circles around your legs and kind of sits on your foot and kind of rubs up against you.
Where do you think she might have gone?
I don't know. She left. She ran away when I was out getting food. And she was gone. Anywhere. I'm worried that she's been taken to the castle. She'll never come back from there. Ah,
Does she have any friends in the town?
no one is friends anymore.
Funny. Pandemic life.
Well, we might be heading that way anyway. If we see her,
Yes, bring her back to me, please. I'll do anything. I'll give you anything, please.
We don't need your stuff, lady. I think we can all agree if we find her, we'll bring her back no matter what.
Oh, thank you so much, thank you.
Hey Mary, is that Gertruda's doll?
Yes, isn't it great? It was mine when I was a child too.
Is it something that maybe we can take so that when we find Gertruda, we can convince her that it came from you and that you're looking for her?
That is a great idea. But she says,
Okay, I don't like parting with it, but sure.
and she hands it over. Again, creepy looking doll. And you read the tag. It says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
It's a lovely doll.
Hey, Miss Mary, do you...
Yes, short man with a beard.
Hey, do you... do you have any articles of clothing of hers? Like, maybe we can get Lancelot to maybe follow her scent?
She packed a bag or something because her clothes are gone too.
Is her pillow still?
But the Lancelot, this dog might recognize her scent if she's been on her bed already. Dogs are smart that way, aren't you?
And she kind of like reaches out to pet, like as if it's the first time meeting the dog. And Lancelot kind of backs away.
You've never seen this dog before?
No.
And then it was on its collar, but...
Yeah.
And then I'll show it to Mary. But I think this was your daughter's dog, was it not?
I don't know. But if she left it, then take it back to her and bring her back to me.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
Me too.
Ooh,
Sure, you
that's
can roll
a,
separately.
I think that's an 18.
Okay.
Probably better than mine. Nope, 21.
All right. See, never know. Roll it out. The sense you're getting is not quite as severely as Donovich, but she's not all there. And the reaction of the dog might be explainable by... Oh, what happened there? The reaction of the dog might be explainable by virtue of neglect, maybe? That's kind of what you're getting the sense of.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Gertruda's dog, not Mary's.
Possibly.
Does your daughter have any reason to be hanging out in that mansion sort of on the edge of town? That's where we found the dog.
No, what mansion? There's no mansion there, just ruin.
Well, the ruins. Or would she have hung out there before it was ruins?
It's never not been ruins as far as I've been here in Barovia.
Spooky.
Nora like looks over at Mary Lou like.
All right.
Can we? Nora's gonna try something.
Okay.
She's gonna cast Speak with Animals and see if she can talk to Lancelot.
Okay. Nice. So let me. What's the spell text of Speak with Animals? Amazingly, I don't have my books ready. I'm going to use this if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because it
So
sometimes have a little bit more.
while you're pulling that up, could you say the dollmaker's name again?
Blinsky.
Blinsky.
Speak with animals. Gain the ability to communicate. The awareness is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, they can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever you perceive. Okay. All right. Yeah. You cast it, and you sort of feel a sort of wind rush over you a little bit, and kind of focus in on the dog. What are you trying to communicate?
Well, I'm gonna like sit down and like, hey buddy, and like have a little bit of food out.
Oh, thank you. I'm very starving.
I believe it, and I'll like give him like the rest of the ration I have.
Okay, subtract another ration
Yeah.
in addition to what you ate for the day. Okay. And he like laughs it up.
Is so Gertruda, is she your person?
Yes, she's lost, missing. This one left me alone. No food. I had to wander.
Oh, buddy, is that how you got into the house?
Yes, scary place.
Oh, honey.
Thanks for taking me out of there. That's nice.
I'll give him like some scritches, like.
Oh, that's good. Oh, just a little.
Yeah. She'll like get that spot and get that leg going.
And the leg is just like.
But then she'll be like, where were you last time you were around Gertruda?
Here, I didn't know that I can't reach as far. And he sort of
kind of jumps up and kind
Oh,
of
honey.
noses towards the tall window
Yeah.
and like couldn't hold her back. And he says, wait here. And he sort of pads under the bed and brings back in his mouth a little scrap of a dress. It looks like it's a purplish dress.
Okay.
And she said, and he kind of noses it towards you. I pulled this off her fur when she was departing,
Oh, honey.
but I couldn't make her stay.
Do you remember?
You get the sense that there's an exchange going on, which is very strange to you and news to you that she can do this. But like, obviously, the dog retrieved this thing, so there's some reciprocity happening here, or reaction happening.
Yeah. Do you remember how many? Oh, what would be a dog's sense of time? How many darks ago it was?
Maybe 3 turnings. 4 turnings?
Okay.
4 turnings, I think.
Okay. You are such a good boy. And I'll just like
Thank
give
you
him
for
all the
finding me.
scritches.
Can I come with you?
Do you want to come with us?
Yeah, I don't want to stay here and starve.
Oh, honey. Yes,
You guys
of
have all the
course.
nice, yummy smelling things. Also, I can't believe that girl ate her pie.
So
Did you not smell that?
I was a little tempted though. She seems like a nice granny. I'm glad you were there to stop me though. Thank you, Lancelot.
I do my part.
Hey, if we have this doll and this dress with us, do you think you can still smell Gertruda?
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah? Do you
Yes, I
think
can.
Do you think you can help us maybe find her as we're going along?
Yes, I can.
Yeah?
Yes, I can.
Oh, you're such a good boy.
Yes, I can.
Why do you roleplay a dog so well?
It's very important. Do a good job.
Have you, when you were, so you were with her when she left? Yeah?
Yes,
Do
toward
you-
the scrap.
Do you remember feeling any feelings she was having? Or like what she was doing in previous days? Like did she
She
take
wanted
you
out.
along?
She wanted to explore. I told her not to go. I told her with my best words, but she didn't listen.
Oh my gosh. So Nora's just going, oh my gosh.
Yeah, basically.
This is like the only time you ever see her like.
speaking common to the dog?
Eyes
The
are like
dog
saucers.
No, there's an exchange of nonverbal communication that's happening that you're getting the sense that's translating to
on his
words in your
toes.
mind via the magic that you've used, but this is entirely nonverbal.
Are you, Nora? Are you okay, Nora?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
She's not a people person. That's fine.
How do you talk without biting your tongues? I feel like you would do that. All the motion. It's worrying. You should talk. You should learn to talk with your heart and with your faces, not with your words.
Lancelot. I just like bring him in and like do a head cuddle like
Oh, that's
against
nice.
mine.
Right there. It's been a while. Yeah.
We can't kill this one.
I mean, this is nice, but we okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just watching you.
Play with the
Well,
dog,
Lancelot,
basically.
Lancelot, is there anything else you noticed about Gertruda? Like anything that would help us find her?
She
Did she smell
always wanted to
in
be
a
out.
different way?
She always wanted to be out. She was anxious, adventurous. She's not totally careful.
Did you smell any weird things on her anytime?
Not
No.
any more than usual.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out if she's been anywhere. Okay, buddy.
Can we go now? I don't
Yeah.
want to stay here no much longer.
We'll
It's
go here in
not
just a
good.
minute, okay?
Her heart's hurting and I can't help her anymore.
I know. You'll come with us, don't worry. We're gonna go try and find
Yes,
Gertruda.
She, like, the tail's kind of giving a continuous wag now.
We're gonna go find Gertruda, okay?
Yes, good thing, important.
Okay, and we'll take care of you.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Okay, and then I guess.
Okay,
Are
nice.
Are you done playing with the critter? I mean, he's cute, I guess, but I think we have more important things to do.
That is a good dog, you guys.
Yeah.
We've literally been traveling with that, like, this whole time. I mean, he's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
really an
I was
animal
just-
person.
I was just chatting with him. Sounds like Gertruda tried to leave one day and he couldn't keep her from going. And I show you like the cloth of like the dress.
What do you mean by you were chatting with the dog?
Oh yeah, I've done this before. It's just a little hobby of mine.
Wait. Don't question it. We got information. We got the scrap. We're gonna find the girl.
And Lancelot is gonna.
He's
have
doing
this
that
tracker.
like pointer thing where he like gets to the end of the door and he's like,
I like walk up and be like, good boy.
gives you like a little tail wag.
Anyone else talk to animals? Like,
I mean, deep in my cups, sure, but not like this.
Deep in my cups.
Okay, Mary. Thank you for letting us know.
Yes, please come back to me with her.
Okay. Can you get some rest and?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, do you guys make your way out? Everyone got what they needed?
Yeah.
Can I do a quick look around the room before we leave,
Sure, perception check.
just in case we missed something.
trust this lady.
That was cockeyed.
Like,
And that is
She
19.
really neglected Lancelot.
It's a cleaned room.
She's not right.
You're not noticing anything otherwise out of the ordinary aside from the broken window that's been boarded up.
Actually, Alec, is the glass broken inside towards us? Is there glass on the ground, or would it look like maybe more outside?
There's not glass on the ground.
Okay.
The space is clean, so it possibly could have just been cleaned up too. Remember, this happened a few days ago at least.
Yeah, gotcha.
Can we peek in the other room?
Okay, yeah, the other room that was open appears to be a larger bedroom with a larger bed, but shows every sign of neglect, even worse than what was down below.
Okay.
I also mentioned to everybody that Lancelot seems to think it was probably like 3 or 4 days.
That's better than a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The odds kind of.
Yeah. A little better odds now.
I mean, I think we can probably find the missing girl. Like, I don't think even if it had been a week, I think we could find her.
Well, let's
It
go.
was great role playing as a dog. That was fantastic. And on that, I have to dip a few minutes early, so I'll say goodbye now.
Okay, no problem. Well, thanks for joining in, Michael, and we'll catch you next week.
See you, Michael.
All right, sounds good.
Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
We'll keep your other foot intact.
No promises.
Brutal. Okay. With that, what's everyone doing? I gotta adjust some stuff here.
Sure.
So why don't I?
Do you want to go down to Periwimple's shop and
What's
figure
the
out
name?
Periwimple? It's a really nice stout name.
I mean,
Maybe it has a dwarvish ring to it. No.
No.
Oh.
even more gnomish.
Sounds like a gnome, maybe an elf.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I confuse the two.
Gnomes and elves.
Gnomes and dwarves.
That's
this is
fair.
kind of screwed a
I
little
mean,
bit
they're all
with
short.
Michael dipping out. It's kind of screwed a little bit with the window capturing that
Can
I
you put like
have
a
used.
screenshot of his face there so she
That'd be handy. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now.
Yeah.
So I got to resize this here. Go ahead and continue talking amongst yourselves here. I'm just going to play around with some of this. Sorry for those of you watching at home and have to deal with the mess. It is a learning experience for me, so...
Mary Lou will lean down towards Claudio and sort of point at Nora. That was weird, right? Like you can't do that, right?
No, that was really weird. But I mean, she's really into her chainmail too. So I mean,
Can she talk to her chainmail? You think?
you know that might be why.
Have we asked her?
I think that solves it. But maybe we shouldn't ask.
Hey, Nora.
Oh, she's got more.
Nothing. You just look great.
Oh, thanks. In your chainmail.
I was like jiggling my chainmail.
I love it. Here, I'll just be big picture, I guess. Let's do this.
Okay, so battle plan. We'll go down the shop, see what he wants, because it's going to be something. There's going to be some horrible trauma that he's experiencing. And then what's our plan after that? Maybe we can go to the tavern and see if the Vestoni is still there?
Ooh. Yeah, and then maybe head on our way. I really want to speak to Madame Eva.
Yeah, we should probably get there
We
before
have to get to
nightfall.
that pool.
Something tells me that the roads aren't going to be super safe.
So,
Okay,
what
hopefully
is it,
that's
like
better. Thank you for
10 miles away
keeping
or
with
so?
us there at home.
Probably leave around noon or 1.
Yeah. What time is it right now? Not in real life, in the game.
8:42.
In game terms, it is about. Remember that you went pretty early morning. You guys were up there at the graveyard at 5 in the morning, roughly. You're still getting used to this whole like day-night deal. Being from Lumoria, where it's constant one or the other, you are guessing that is a few hours have passed since you began your ordeal.
Well, so we might be coming up on noon pretty quickly.
You'd say probably closer to about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
At the moment. A few hours from 5, right? Because you bury the priest and did all that, so it's about 8 o'clock.
this is all early. Okay, we have time. Yeah.
Quick change of heart.
We have time. We're fine.
That's nice.
Let's try to leave the city by noon. And we'll
Like
check
noon.
in with Ismark and Irina before we leave. Sound good?
Yeah. Anyone want any pies? You give me a bit hint of an indigestion.
Lancelot says, they be nasty.
I've
different.
seen dogs eat out of the garbage. I'm
He
not sure I
scarfed my ration down,
I
and
trust
that's
him.
been in my pocket for a while.
But that's the whole thing is if he's willing to eat out of garbage and he says that's nasty, that gives you a sense of his scale.
I mean, it was delicious.
I just maybe wouldn't eat any more.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of heartburn. Well, let's
Yeah.
go drink alcohol. That'll help.
After we go talk to Periwimple.
Okay, so you guys heading over to the Bildrath's Mercantile, is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, get that little section open. Alrighty, so you're heading over through the rain, or not through the rain, through the morning mist, and away from the sort of quieted sobs now of Mary. And you head to... No, I don't need this anymore. Thank you. Book. Boop. You head to a general store. It's a larger establishment, maybe 70 feet by 40. And you guys enter in, and behind the counter, there's quite a bit of supplies. Pretty well stocked store, actually. And behind the counter is a pair of individuals, sort of a kind of gruff and grouchy looking man, struggling to maintain any hair on his head, kind of combing over style, with a patchy beard. And he appears to be berating or shouting down at a buff and big individual who is looking quite contrite. Someone who's about as muscular as Mary Lou and easily 7 feet tall. And he's like, I sorry, I know I shouldn't have done, but I sorry, it's okay, uncle, sorry, no. And the man is like, we are not a charity organization, we are charging customers to pay, do not give away our items, and stay away from Irina. Leave her alone, she's cursed, the devil's after her, and nothing good will come of it. I promised I would keep... Oh, customers. Well, what can I help you? What are you looking for? What can I help you buy?
I'm looking for some pleasant customer service and not hearing people yell at their nephews, but I don't think I'll find that here.
And how did you know that he was my nephew?
Called you uncle.
Right. Well, what can I get you? Well, I have goods, and surely motley traveling crew, and he kind of lingers his eyes over the dwarf and over Darian, who look a little exotic to his eye. I'm sure that I can strike a deal and give you something you need. What? Come on now, surely you have something.
Yeah, they're just glaring.
A name first is always appreciated. I'd like to know who I'm doing business with.
Bildrath Kentamir.
Nice to meet
At
you,
your service.
Bill.
And this is Periwimple, my nephew, as we've clearly established.
I'm Jennifer, and I'll put a hand out.
Oh, John, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Bill Draft, it looks like you have a lot of things in stock.
Sure do.
Can you give me an idea of what kind of products you'd be offering today?
Oh, all sorts. I've got knickknacks, torches, rations, water skins. I've got bags and things. I could sell you a tent even. We've got, some rope if you're in need of rope. We've got all sorts of things that might suit your fancy and serve your purpose. Just let us know what you need and we'll take care of the rest.
Jennifer is going to put on an act of being unimpressed. I was hoping that you would have a few items of maybe a little bit finer taste.
Well, we have it all. What is it that you are looking to get?
I'm browsing. Sometimes a lady just likes to spend money.
Sometimes I like to get it. So, I'm sure we can work out a deal. Speak to me of your need as a lady and as a traveler. Is it clothes that you desire? Is it more comfortable bedding? Surely, Perry, go on, fetch some of the nicer clothes, the traveling ones that we have for this lady. Yes, uncle. Okay, traveling clothes. Travel.
The way we speak to our underlings really says a lot about us, doesn't it?
I'm comfortable. Well.
Oh, I'm
anything
sorry.
Further?
I thought you were...
Oh, here he comes. Here he is. And Periwimple has perfectly adequate and unremarkable clothing that is there and fit for a woman. Can fit your size. And I gotta look something up here really fast. As far as price goes. And he says, oh, yes, the finest thing straight from the Vistani, traveling from far lands and wonderful exotic things. You're looking a bit threadbare, if I might be so honest. So perhaps something might do you good in a change of wardrobe. Only 20 gold.
I'll hold up the garment, and I'm going to use minor illusion to show some loose threads. And I'll kind of pull at them.
So you have to speak and do some gesturing to do the magic.
Oh, okay.
Unless it specifically doesn't have a verbal or somatic component, but I believe it has both.
I don't think it has a verbal, but I think it has somatic.
Maybe hide your hand action behind the...
Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Ooh, I think I'm pretty good at that. 14.
14. He notices what you're doing, and he says, "We don't allow magic here. If I see you again around here, I'm gonna have to ask Periwimple to show you his Knuckles. So please
Oh.
escort yourself from my store. The rest of you, no magic, purchases only, all sales are final.
I understand, Viltraff. And I'll like touch his forearm. I didn't mean
Don't.
to offend you.
Out, now.
Your shop sucks anyways. And I'll leave.
Now, the rest of you, I'm sure you can be reasonable and keep this without a magical flavor in its transaction. Money is money, and we don't need to get magic involved.
Yeah, I mean, I never give anything a magical flavor, and she just sort of cracks her knuckles and puts them behind their head. She's not stopped glaring at him this entire time.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Ooh.
This is gonna be one of those encounters.
That intimidation, math 15.
15, okay. I mean, he's lived in Barovia, so not the most scary thing, but he's still kind of eyeing you warily. And he says, hey, Perry, why don't you go check on that magic user, make sure she's not up to anything nefarious.
I'm just gonna go to the tavern.
Anything up to no good. Get out there. Okay. And he exits. And you've already exited, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a second.
Sure.
Anything else? Come on now.